वाइट पैच डाल देना इसका। स्लाइस हटाओ पहले तो यहाँ से।
नॉर्मल कुछ भी लगा दूं?
कुछ भी। I'll tell you one thing. पहले कोई एक्सटेंड करो उसको।
Canva if it is possible, नहीं तो white patch
वाइट पैच लगा दो।
ये
इसको मुझे छोटा करके दो तो। इसको बंद करो इसको। अभी इसमें नॉर्मल हाँ हाँ चलेगा। शुरू कर देंगे मैम, बताइए स्टार्ट करेंगे। Operation also?
Good morning, everyone. I'll introduce myself once again for those who are not there before. I am Professor Sonu Gupta, and on behalf of TIMSCDR, I welcome all of you on the second day of our international conference, ICAM. I would request our chief guest, Dr. Ashok Shukla, to please take seat on the dais. I would request our other guests of honor, Dr. Vikrant Desai, Dr. Mukesh Gupta, Dr. Jayesh Lele, Dr. Vinita Gaikwad, Dr. Sheshendu Mehra, and Dr. Padma to please take seat on the dais. I also request, I'm sorry, Dr. Hemal Maniar, I request you to please take seat on the dais. Once again, TIMSCDR welcomes all of you in the inauguration ceremony of ICAM 2024, International Conference on Advances in Information Technology and Management. Theme of this year's conference is Leveraging Information Technology for Sustainability in Agriculture and Healthcare, Women Empowerment, arranged in association with AMC, Association of Medical Consultants, IMA, that is Indian Medical Association, Malad Medical Association, Kandivali Medical Association. Plus, we also have association with MASHIA, which is Maharashtra Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, NCSH, Nordic Center for Sustainable Healthcare, GIST, Global Indian Scientists and Technocrats, DMI, Development Management Institute, CSI, Computer Society of India, Mumbai branch, and IIC, Institutes Innovation Council. All the organizations with which we have association, they contribute in some other manner in the entire conduct of the conference, and the conference is not restricted to only 2 days. The pre-conference sessions of ICAM started from Monday onwards, that is 5th of February, wherein we had speakers coming from different avenues and areas and taking sessions with the students. Then we had representatives of CSI and Marcia, etc., coming down over here to evaluate the research posters and research papers of the students. Based on the success and positive outcomes of our ICAM 2016, that was the very first time when we conducted our conference based on a theme of leveraging information technology for better healthcare. And seeing the response over there, we have been arranging conferences with specific focus every year. ICAM 2017 was focused on intersectoral research, ICAM 2018 on agriculture and nutrition, ICAM 2019 on waste management in agriculture and medicine. ICAM 2020 was based on sustainability in agriculture and medicine, whereas ICAM 21 and 22 were organized in blended mode due to COVID pandemic and were focused on leveraging information technology for COVID-19 crisis. And ICAM 2023 was focused on carbon neutrality. We are sure, as other conferences, this conference too would provide a platform for exchange of ideas among eminent and erudite personalities from relevant fields and will open many more avenues of future technological enhancements. We are both privileged and proud to be organizing ICAM in association with AMC for the 9th consecutive year. It is your support and guidance that motivates us. And no matter whosoever is the president of AMC, last time it was Dr. Nilima Bhamre, this year it is Dr. Ashok Shukla. Whosoever be the president, the kind of support we get from each and every president to organize our ICAM conference in association with AMC, that we are really grateful to AMC for that. I would request the dignitaries, our chief guest Dr. Ashok Shukla, and all the other dignitaries to please garland the Saraswati idol.
या कुंडे तु तुषार हार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदंड मंडित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
So we have a short video which we would want to present in front of all of you, which showcases our journey of ICAM from not from 2016, but in fact from 2019 we have captured it, and we are presenting till date the journey in front of you. I know the journey video was very long, but then I'm sure that AMC would also be as nostalgic seeing the video as we people are here at this front. So the video showcases a lot of our memories which we have built along with all the doctors over the past years. I would request our director, Dr. Vinita Gaikwad, to felicitate Dr. Shukla with a memento. Dr. Ashok Shukla is currently the President AMC. Sir is a consulting gynecologist and a medico-legal expert. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Sheshendu Mehta to please present a memento to Dr. Jayesh Lele, Vice President IMA. We are really fortunate to have you amongst us, Doctor. While we were searching for you, we could see the kind of contribution you have made during the COVID pandemic, protecting the other doctors and taking the vaccination drives, etc., which you conducted. I would request Dr. Padma to please present a memento to Dr. Mukesh Gupta. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Padma. I would request Dr. Vinita Gaikwad to once again please present a bouquet to Dr. Vikrant Desai. Dr. Vikrant Desai is Treasurer, IMA Maharashtra State. Sir is a radiologist. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I would request Dr. Professor Maitra to please present a memento to Dr. Hemant Maniar. On the table in front of all of you is a conference proceeding which is a result of hard work of all faculty and students of TIMSCDR. A total of 90 research papers and 47 research posters have been selected to be published in conference proceedings after multiple review cycles. I request Dr. Ashok Shukla and all the dignitaries to please release the conference proceedings of ICAM 2024. The students and staff of TIMSCDR have been working non-stop constantly for last 1 month for the compilation of the conference proceeding. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I would also request our chief guest and dignitaries to release the book, Use of AI in Daily Practice for Doctors. This book is an outcome of joint efforts of TIMSCDR and AMC, in which role of AI in transforming medical practice, AI for personal enhancement, AI for doctors in practice, AI for social media, do's and don'ts to be followed while using UPI platform. All these are elucidated in a very simple manner. Post-lunch, a workshop on these topics would be conducted for doctors by TIMSCDR faculty. We hope that this book and the workshop will be useful for all the doctors. Considering that all these topics are very, very relevant in today's time, even in healthcare and for doctors, we urge all of you to please stay back after the post-lunch session of workshop, in which our faculties have really worked hard to bring down these concepts to a very elementary level so that they can be understood by everyone without any background of IT sector also. I would request Dr. Vanita Gaikwad. Ma'am is Director, Thakur Institute of Management Studies, Career Development and Research, and has an experience of 24 plus years. She was head of the Computer Science Department in TCSE, and since last 13 years, ma'am is with TIMSCDR. She has been instrumental in leading her team to start many research-oriented and other innovative programs that have given a new dimension to the learning of students at TIMSCDR. Ma'am did her PhD in IT and Management from Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune. I would request Mars to please play the short introductory video of ma'am. I request ma'am to please come and address the audience.
A very, very good morning to all the respected guests sitting on the dais and all the respected guests sitting off the dais also. Each one of you all mean a lot to us. And yesterday also I had to give a speech here, but the crowd was more of doctors, a few farmers, and there were a few doctors also because it was about women empowerment. So we had a panel of doctors and farmers, all women, and IT professionals. So when I begin my speech, I began it off with ladies and gentlemen, and then I continued for a few lines, and then I stopped, and then I told everybody in the audience, this is what has come from ChatGPT. So even to create a speech, you can just give a few lines to a software called ChatGPT. It's called as a generative AI, and it'll create an elaborate speech for you on the topic which you're putting forth. So the topic which we had given of the conference is a very unique topic. It's not a very generic topic, but yet I got a speech of 1.5 pages in front of me, and it was just an exercise I did just to understand how it works. Because before that, I had already created my speech and kept it. It was ready with me, trying to pen down my thoughts about the event we are organizing and how important it is for the institution and specifically for our students. The point that I want to draw over here today morning is this, that IT has, percolated so much into us. And if you talk about AI, at some point of time, we'll be a bit scared. So like Professor Sonu has said, we have been conducting these workshops of IT for doctors for literally some 8 to 9 years now. And every year, it surprises us to see that there's so much more we can offer to the doctors. So what we are teaching is not hardcore programming, and neither it is something very technical that would go, above, the doctors would not understand it. But at the same time, every time we come up with something new to offer to the doctors, and that tells the manner in which IT is evolving. So there are very basic fundamental things which doctors can use in their daily practice. Finally, at the end of the day, it is all of us want to see how much we can earn, and there's nothing wrong in it. That's happiness. So how do we be in touch with our patients? How do we ensure that we are offering them the right things and in the right way? So talking about social media also, there's something which is a very happening thing as of now, and doctors require to use it because more than half of the world is on social media now. So taking these points, I would not talk much about this because we want you to actually have a hands-on session during the workshop in the afternoon once the lunch is over. I would once again extend, our heartfelt thanks to AMC, who has been really there with us for the last 8-9 years. All the doctors, specifically thanks to Dr. Ashok Shukla, the president of AMC, who has been so very supportive to us this year. We are very much, if you must have seen in the photographs, you see Dr. Mukesh all throughout. There's not a single photo where we don't have. So talking about it, Dr. Mukesh has really been a good support for us. And we are thankful to all the doctors who have been, up till now, who have been there with us. And it is because of the doctors that even we learn. So it's not a one-way, giving. It's like we learn from you all and we update ourselves also during this process. I'm also grateful to my students who are sitting over here today and who have been supporting us in so many ways. They have been creating videos of the guests over here. And I would say thanks to all my students. And last but not the least, like I ended my speech yesterday, a big salute to my entire staff who has been really, really so supportive and without keeping, any this, like they were just ahead and supporting and doing the necessary things. So with this, I'll end my talk and I thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll confess it over here on this platform today that usually when ma'am starts with a new program, our initial reaction is always getting pissed off because it always brings more work on our table and we always have to push our limits to achieve that. But then yes, I'll also confess that once we achieve that milestone, we do get a sense of accomplishment which we would have not gotten otherwise. And as for Dr. Mukesh Gupta, we don't treat him as a person from representative of AMC anymore. We treat him as an honorary faculty of TIMSCDR. With this, we are deviating a little bit from every year in the sense that every year people have to listen to me throughout the day of the conference, coming in between and talking about everything. Our students would be coming and taking over the session now. And though I'm confident and 100% sure that the students are going to do a wonderful job, but still, these are ultimately students, and I would really request everyone to appreciate the spirit which they are showing over here to come, because many of them would be coming on stage and facing the audience for the very first time. I would request everyone to please let go of small minor mistakes if they ever make it, which I'm sure they'll not make, but still I would request everyone to take that in that spirit. And with that, I request, who's coming first? I'll request Josephine to please come forward.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind introduction. Starting the session, I feel immense joy to introduce to everyone our guest, Dr. Ashok Shukla. Dr. Ashok Shukla is the president of AMC and holds qualifications of MBBS, DNB, FCPS, DGO, DFP, LLB, and LLM. He is also a consulting gynecologist and medical legal expert and the director of Sai Ashirwad Maternity and Nursing Home. He is an honorary at Wockhardt Hospital and Indira Gandhi Municipal Hospital, Mira Road. He has received many awards and has presented and published many research papers in national journals. To know him a little better, let's watch a short introductory video of him. Dr. Ashok has been an active member with TIMSCDR, approaching and participating in events and always being available for us. We thank you, sir, for your efforts and take great joy for your presence today. So let's have a round of applause for Dr. Ashok Shukla as we welcome him on dais to share a few words with us.
थैंक यू. वीडियो बोला तो मैं टेंशन में आ गया, मतलब वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग कभी किया नहीं बाबा. बट दैट्स IT, you know. So I think so Dr. Vinita Gaikwad has already mentioned, but I'll like to share some of my views. First is that this whole program concept was started by Dr. Mukesh Gupta, and as rightly said by Dr. Vinita, that's the reason he is common in all the pictures, because every year the president change, but the source of inspiration for this program, Dr. Mukesh Gupta, is there, and he sees that he is there in each and every program. The concept, the topics, what all to share, and see what an innovative idea where we really give hands-on to our members. And that's the reason we thank for this venue, because we need a venue where we have so many points where hands-on can be given. And I am so happy that in 2016-17 when Dr. Mukesh Gupta this started, I was the managing committee in Association of Medical Consultants. And it's proud that today I am president, and the same program we are continuing with so many interests. We see Dr. Sharma from Bhainder, Dr. Yadav from Virar, Dr. Rajendra Tiwari coming from Dhanu. So you can imagine the interest and the support what our AMC members give for this hands-on. And my theme for this year was developing dimension in doctors. See, we doctors are very good clinically, but for other sections we are not that good. And then we become dependent on others. It feels so bad when we have the most recent iPhone and then we ask our son, beta, ye app kaise? And then the son says, Papa, ye itna easy hai. And then we feel, Bapre. It was looking so difficult, but it was really so easy. That's the reason hands-on. Where you learn things which you felt that this might be difficult. And as already Dr. Vinita said, the use of it in our practice. Ultimately, everybody has a good practice, relieve the patient from pain, and in return we get money. That's fine. But how to increase our efficacy, how to increase our accuracy, how to reduce that waste of time which would be occurring in your practice because of XYZ thing which we can help digitally. Retrieving the documents, physical, or 10 साल पुराना paper निकालना है, then you have to tell the medical record department what the advantage of AI or the advantage of digital, that you just have to type and then you get. You have to find something, you get. Diabetes patient, the dosage, AI is going to be future. Everybody is going to, but the only thing we doctors have the advantage is that we have feelings. We have the human touch. And I always remember my teacher's line. He says, see, all these people, there are 4 or 5 government medical colleges, they all read from the same teachers. They read books, the same books. We all refer to the same books. Everybody has different practice. And a lot of time patient says, idhar gaya to, मैं एक ही बार में ठीक हो जाता है. That's the faith that the doctor develops. So ultimately, AI will be the future, but we will be the truth, that we will be constant. They will be changing, but we will be there. So I appreciate every year, even during COVID time, we continued this. And then that time, I remember that COVID clinics and how to establish. So I am saying that irrespective whatever happened, we have continued this. And the another constant face was Dr. Vinita Gaikwad in all photographs, because she has supported us. And the best part is that she calls and asks Dr. Shukla, like this year because of me, how to go ahead and you tell. She does everything with the help of Dr. Mukesh Gupta. But then she says, ki you tell how to, and that's the reason this time we have more than 100 registrations for the physical. And people who are not able to reach, they are constantly sending a message, sir, iska recording milega kya? Well, nahi milega. You have to come, spend time. I understand. But yeah, we are doing every year. But as Dr. Mukesh Gupta has already said that we will be having a booklet, which I will not take much time. So I would like to thank Dr. Vinita Gaikwad and Dr. Mukesh Gupta, AMC, and all dignitaries on the dais, all my members attending today, because they are my main support, and the managing staff who have been here creating videos, creating the slides, and helping to execute the program. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
It is my honor to introduce our next distinguished guest, Dr. Vikrant Desai. Not only is he a prominent director and consultant radiologist, but he also holds the esteemed position of treasurer at the Indian Medical Association, Maharashtra State. Dr. Desai's contribution extends further as a trustee and past president of Bhayandar Medical Association. Today, we are privileged to have his expertise and leadership insights with us. I would like to call Dr. Desai over here.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, friends. I will not take much time, but I would just say that the program is all about the current topics, and the most important is the consistency. This has been going on for years. I've been attending this. And trust me, it is for the benefit of doctors in a much bigger way than we actually think. So thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Sorry, sir, this is the first mistake I made. I would like to play the video, introductory video.
Thank you, sir. Taking the program forward, now it's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest, Dr. Mukesh Gupta, sir, a standout obstetrician and gynecologist who achieved the top position in the MD examination. Beyond his medical expertise, Dr. Gupta, sir, serves as a healthcare strategy consultant, passionately exploring the integration of IT in healthcare. Today, we are privileged to have him share his insights, bringing the worlds of medicine and technology. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for your consistent presence and guidance. We enjoyed a lot during our SIP session also. We really enjoyed the session. Now we'll be presenting a short introductory video of Dr. Mukesh Gupta, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now I would request Dr. Mukesh Gupta sir to share insights with us.
Thank you very much. Even I was shocked where you're picking up the photographs. तो पहले तो बहुत खौफ हो गया. AI के साथ साथ जो fake, fake AI है, ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं बना देगी ये. Anyway, thank you so much. So kind of you. I just want to point out what I have gained and learned over the years. One thing I have learned after seeing the photographs is with age I am losing hair, but Madam Vinita is looking the same. So there is one interesting thing, but I will tell you, we started this journey in 2016 with support of AMC. I cannot thank enough the first time that we did it, President Dr. Sudhir Nayak, he said, Mukesh, go ahead with the idea. It's a unique idea, you should go ahead. Well, the budget, we'll figure it out. And we figured out the budget, we got sponsors, and we started the event. And from that day onwards till today, AMC has been constantly supporting this project with the seed capital, that you go ahead with the program, and whatever funds happen or not, we should have this for our members. The whole idea of this concept, I remember 2016, I had pitched it to Dr. Lele sir, and he said, yes, Mukesh. And I think you were there for that first session, if I am not mistaken. So he has been the person who has brought technology in Malad Medical Association, IMA Mumbai Suburban Branch, and National IMA also. So what I am trying to tell you here is, over the years, we have been doing workshops on various subjects. In 2016, if you remember the famous speech, I'll start the opening. Mere priya mitron. कुछ याद आ रहा है? So धड़कन रुक गई थी? Yeah, so that was the theme of the conference that year. So that was the time we did a whole conference on how to use technology to receive and transfer funds and money without the fear of fraud and without the fear of not reaching to our account. So we trained people on using UPI, on using the various different portals like Paytm, etc. And we taught them how to use internet banking. So how can we be cashless? So that was our first experiment, and then we used that topic along with the various other topics of that. And then over the years, we metamorphosed to the topic of that era. Say, for example, when COVID happened, we went on for online. And in that session, we helped people establish the COVID clinic online in their clinic so that they can do that. In 2017-18, we worked on search engine optimization and creating your own YouTube videos and how to make presentation, how to use different things. And trust me, today's topic is also the same in principle, how to make your presentation. At that time, we were using Prezi, PowerPoint, etc. Today, we are going to learn how ChatGPT and AI is going to help us make our presentations. At that time, we were talking about how to start the transaction. Today evening, we'll be teaching all of you how to safeguard yourself from phishing. Over the years, the workshops have been focusing on various day-to-day activities like how to store your data on cloud, how to use EMR systems, or how to make your own website, or how to use Google Forms and Google Docs. We'll be having some capsule talks from teachers today also for people who have missed it earlier. And last but not the least, I would like to tell you that today I'm extremely proud that a lot of medical associations, including the Malad Medical Association, including the KMA, including so many organizations have supported this program. And we have amongst us office bearers from Maharashtra State IMA, from National IMA here sitting here amongst us, and some people who are part of our actual implementation of national programs. We have someone from the leprosy program who's here. So we're seeing so many of you people who are actually, in spite of your busy practice and having tremendous clinical knowledge, are here to learn how you can enhance AI, enhance your practice using AI. And for doctors, it's not artificial intelligence. It's also augmented intelligence, which helps us to augment what we do. And that is going to be the theme for panel discussion today and the workshop. Looking forward for a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for always being present and giving your valuable time throughout these years. Now, I will like to introduce our honorable guest, Dr. Jayesh Lele, Honorable Secretary General of Indian Medical Association, IMA. Dr. Lele is a renowned specialist in coronavirus and has been at the forefront of India's fight against the pandemic. He is renowned physician and practicing for 35 years. He has also held numerous positions in IMA at the branch, state and headquarter level that include National Secretary, IMA Hospital Board of India from 2016 to 2020, Honorable Secretary General, IMA Headquarter from 2020 from 2022 and President of IMA Maharashtra from 2015 to 2016. He has earned various awards from IMA headquarters and IMA Maharashtra, such as 2015 IMA National Individual Community Service Award. He is also honored from IMA Professor Sridhar Sharma Oration Award from 2007 for the 2017 and 18 academic year. Now we will see the glimpse of him through the video. Now I will call Dr. Jayesh Lele to share their thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words and of course the nice video. Basically this regarding the digitalization and AI. AI is coming now, but we had started digitalization of the various associations wherever I worked, like in the Malad first I was the one who introduced the tally, in fact way backwards. And after that, I was, I think, about 14, 15 years treasurer because nobody took over the treasurership, honorary treasurer. And then nobody took the treasurership because I was working on that. So anyhow, that was the thing that started. And of course, I took the same digitalization in IMA Mumbai West, IMA Maharashtra State, Malad, of course, it is already being digitalized. And a similar introduction, I did it in IMA headquarters in national level. We have nearly 4 lakh IMA members across India, 1800 branches, and we have all the doctors, faculties from MBBS to super specialists. How this digitalization is very important. In fact, still I would say that we are still much backward. I think we are in the IT complex of this, and I'm sure much more things can be added to the association. I will just give you one story on the digitalization, how the IMA platform started working when I was there in the IMA headquarters way back. And, you know, like IMA, since it's a national membership, the members are transferred from one place to another branch, any branch from Maharashtra or out of state or anything like that. So one lady doctor, IMA member, was transferred from Nagpur to IMA Mumbai West. And she was not in a position to get the membership certificate. So all the papers and work had been done. And her husband happened to be a very highly influenced at the CID. He was ATS. And he called IMA national president and said that what kind of work is going on. And I'm not in a position to get, in fact, during Corona, he wanted IMA stickers for their car, you know, because that time on the Corona time, only doctor stickers cars were allowed. So that was the basic issue in that. And then still she was not having the membership and other things. So national president called me. I was in a car I was driving and I was going to the IMA Mumbai West. So he told me that such a thing is there, how we can help him out, because that lady was transferred to Mumbai. It happened to be in Mumbai. So I said, okay, theek hai, just give me the cell number of that ATS, because he was a very top level influence. I'm not saying the name because I know still has his name with me. He was a top level. So I just called him. I said, what is the issue? He said, this is the thing. I said, theek hai, do one thing. Just go to the IMA website. IMA website. There is a membership area is there for members area. And just open that web page. Can you open that? In the car I was driving and I told him, I said, do that. Then second thing I asked him was this, whatever the email ID and whatever the cell number, you have given it to IMA, it is the same today, because she became member about 5-6 years back that time. So yes, he said, I said, then you put those cell number and email ID into that. He said, no, he's asking for password and login ID. I said, you don't worry, you just put that. There is a column available to put that email ID and cell number. So the moment he put that cell number and email ID, he got a login ID and a password. Because that entire digitalization of that software was developed under my care, of course, to the other agency. But immediately he got the login ID and the password. So I told him, I said, now you open your profile. Every person, every member of IMA is given the profile. And I said, you open the profile and there you have the identity card. So immediately he could download the identity card. So then he said, where are you? I said, I am going to Juhu. I said, no, I am also in Juhu. I said, you come and meet me in the Juhu IMA office. So he came there, he met me, he gave his introduction, his wife had also come. I gave him the stickers and all. Still we are in touch. But then so much development has occurred that just the same email ID and the same cell number, I had given the iCard and the certificate within 5 minutes. So we have all those things developed. So similarly, we know we need to be upgrading ourselves in our medical practice also. And of course, today's session, I saw the very important that book, I just glancing through it. And definitely in the evening session that the doctors who attend, they will be of a very great help. And of course, our discussion, let us see how we take it and we go further. Regarding all those things, whatever we are going to discuss about, there is always just be careful that since I have been working as a Vice President of the Maharashtra Medical Council, which regulates the entire medical association of MBBS doctors, and of course we hear a lot of cases, we attend as the cases because there we have to work as a kind of a semi-judiciary body and we have to work as a judge there. In fact, many cases come, patients complain, and other things occur. So whenever the such cases are there, be careful. Digitalization is good, but at the same time, at the back of it, you have to be very careful. Don't just get away and do certain things which are not good, which is not there. If you have any query, of course, the seniors and I think experts will be there. We are not that experts, but yes, definitely we have to take care about that. And from the council side, now even the council is changing, because if you of course, I think, Mukesh, are we going to take about e-certificate and all in our discussion? E-certificate and the e-prescription. Yes. So I will not talk because that is very important that every doctor writes the prescription on WhatsApp and other things. I think we will just touch upon, sorry.
Yeah, so we will be discussing about how you are going to use online prescription for your patient legally.
Yeah, so I will take more details into that because that is more important, because whenever you are writing a prescription, be careful. Just understand how to write down prescription, because this occurred, why I am giving the references, during the Corona period in 2020 March, we were there in the IMA headquarters, and 2020 Niti Aayog first time opened the e-prescription for doctors. Niti Aayog's one course is there. It is an online course. You can go through that. And then you can officially, legally practice that e-prescription and other things. We'll take more details onto that. But then you should be very careful and writing the prescription. It was Niti Aayog which did that. And now other councils have also taken up that cause, because that time the many doctors, family physicians, and even the small hospitals were not working. So how to guide the patient, what to do and what not to do. So all those things would be definitely, I think Dr. Mukesh would be touching upon. We'll take it more detail. Mukesh, I was just wondering when you told me about this today's panel discussion. there is one literature word there. I don't know what literature. You mean to say art literature or what kind of a literature? Of course, I can understand the healthcare for finance, healthcare for prescription, other things, but literature I do not know. Anyway, we'll take up that discussion later on. Thank you once again for all the organizers for giving me the opportunity, and definitely we look forward to have a very good discussion and very fruitful discussion. Thank you.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Jayesh Lele for sharing such a valuable information and playing a pivotal role during the COVID-19 crisis. We are really thankful. Now, I have the honor of introducing Dr. Hemal Maniar, a highly respected radiologist with over 25 years of experience. Now, we will see the introduction video of Dr. Hemal Maniar. Dr. Maniar is not only a skilled diagnostician but also a community leader, serving as president of the Malad Medical Association and as a trustee at the L&M Patel Rotary Eye Hospital. His dedication to both his patients and community is truly commendable. Now I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Hemal Maniar. Just a second, sorry for that.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, first of all, after the speech of Dr. Jayesh Lele and all the dignitaries on the dais, it is like Indian Idol winner singing after Kishorda and Panchamda and performing after such a big shot. So, it's my great pleasure to share a dais with such a great dignitaries, specifically Dr. Jayesh Lele, Dr. Ashok Shukla, Dr. Vikrant Desai, and Dr. Mukesh. On the onset, I would like to thank Dr. Vinita Gaikwad for inviting Malad Medical Association for such a noble cause and such an innovative idea, which is so very much necessary for day-to-day practice, specifically for us, our doctors like us. I would like to specifically thank all the performing and the entire team of this institute, because Malad Medical Association, as a president of Malad Medical Association, I would like to share that we had a theme of the year, that resolve to evolve, which my secretary, Dr. Mukesh, my friend, he had coined this theme, and we both together, we worked hard for this, and this is the era where we want to resolve ourselves, we want to resolve to evolve and get the newer idea about digitalization and about this new stuff happening in our day-to-day practice. Somebody, a great person, has said that I don't believe in taking right decision, but I take decision and make them right. And that is what AMC has done under the guidance of Dr. Mukesh Gupta and Dr. Ashok Shukla. And they have worked hard with the entire team and Dr. Vinita, and to get this program done. And when I was sharing my ideas with Dr. Jayesh Lele outside while having breakfast, he mentioned this, that Himal, it is very easy to get a project done. It's very easy. But to make it run continuously every year, it takes a lot of tasks and it needs a lot of power. And I congratulate the entire team for running it every year for 7 years. So that gives a big round of applause to the entire team of this association and AMC. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate your appreciation. What you said was very, very correct. That to start something is not that difficult, but to continue it consistently with the same rigor and fervor for another 7 years is actually an achievement. So a big round of applause for all of us. So now, as you had seen in the video also of ICAM, that the doctor's workshop has been conducted on different relevant topics through every year. A topic has been chosen and which has been delivered. And we have progressed with time. But then there are certain things which, because of lack of time, we were not able to incorporate in the workshop. But still, as all the doctors are present over here, there are certain things which we want the doctors to be aware of. And so that's why we'll take just 15-20 minutes of your time. And I would request Professor Meera to please join in. I and Professor Meera, we would be taking you through a session which is basically going to talk about that when you are... Can I have a handheld mic, Arvind?
Hello.
Yeah. So what I would be talking about it is that basically if you have anyone seen Dr. Mukesh Gupta's YouTube channel, so we will take a teeny weeny bit of credit over there for his popularity on YouTube.
You have all the credit, madam. You have all the credit. I always say that there are two people I cannot thank enough. One is this program that we do with AMC and ICAM and the team from Thakur who taught us how to take the knowledge, information, digital media. And second is my students from BITS Pilani. I run an internship program and they helped me in this. Thank you so much. And this is what is a classic example. I have 4.5 crore views. And thanks to these teachers who taught us how to use YouTube.
No. I feel the only thing which we do is that we planted the seed in his mind. The kickstart which is there, the first direction, and then it's all him. And by the way, Dr. Mukesh Gupta, you are needed somewhere over there for a brief discussion with one of the resource persons. Yeah. Whenever we are also aware after now working with doctors for so long that doctors are not allowed to publicize themselves. They have a lot of restrictions when they are publicizing themselves. But what doctors can do is they can have their own website, right? So how do you make a website taking into consideration that you do not violate any of the laws or regulations, but still get your presence felt on the web? Now, one more thing which I would address is that I and Dr. Vinita were also discussing was that when we people were also searching for information about doctors while creating the videos, so somehow what happens is we people keep working in the field and which we are passionate about. So for all of you, your profession, the medical profession, you people are really passionate about that profession and you want to give it the best over there. But somehow in that, daily work, what is missed is your social presence. And slowly what happens is that even if you are maybe, let's say, doing a surgery, which is a groundbreaking surgery, path-breaking surgery, which has never been attempted before, but if it is not publicized properly, then it is not going to reach the people, the kind of reach it should be having for all the population. It's not going to reach in that manner. So that's why your social presence, the way when you go around and you introduce yourselves in different avenues, like you go and meet other doctors and you talk about your research. Similarly, it's essential for you people to put in your research work on social media, have your own website, because the way you are carrying your visiting card maybe, or maybe your badges or anything, similarly on the web, your website becomes your visiting card. And anyone who comes to visit your website, they should get all the information from your website. Now, one thing is that. Second thing is that if I have made the website, but if people are not coming to visit my website, how are they going to come to visit my website? Do I go and tell them every single time, the way I meet people and give them my visiting card, that see, this is my visiting card, I'm so and so, so I work in this area. So I'm going to them personally, right? But on web, how can I go to them personally? So web, I need to make such an arrangement that they come to me. Right? Now, how can they come to me? They can come to me through something known as search engine optimization. Now, what happens is when we are creating our website is there on the web, but people can come to that website through multiple sources. Through multiple sources in the sense, there is something known as organic search and paid search. Paid search is what? If ever you have, Amira, could you just, on Google, if there is Google available while I'm talking over there, can you just search on something on the Google and you will get a paid search section over here and an unpaid search section, organic section. So if I'm searching for, let's say, a mixer and grinder, then on the right hand side, if you check out, there are ads which come in. Those are paid searches. Whereas if I am getting, I'm searching for gynecologist in Mumbai and I get a list of links at the bottom. These are organic searches. Those are unpaid searches. So your website, if I'm searching, if you are a gynecologist by profession, and if I'm writing gynecologist in Mumbai, and your website link is coming on the very first page of the search on Google search engine, then that means what? The chances of anyone coming and clicking on that website and visiting your website becomes higher. So what you need to do is, so that people come and visit your website, your name needs to come in the searches. मैंने search मारा gynecologist in Mumbai, तो मेरे पास 6-7 जो पेज आते हैं एक साथ ही जब भी हम Google search में करते हैं, that if your name, website names comes in the first 5-6 searches, chances are people are going to come and visit your website. If it goes on the second page, I don't think so, unless or until some person is actually doing a research on gynecologist in Mumbai, I doubt anyone is going to go to the second page of Google search engine search and then going to check your website. So now how to come in those first 5? So for example, if you check out over here, on top the searches which we are getting, Arihan medical stores and all this, these are all paid searches. Right? And if you go down at the bottom, now this list is the one which is unpaid searches, which is the organic searches. And the objective of ours is that our website should get listed over here. Right? Meera, I would request you to just search on gynecologist in Mumbai also. So how do I get this over here? Now, getting this over here is just not by chance. You have to work towards it. That work is search engine optimization. What do you mean by search engine optimization? When Google is searching on any, if I'm putting gynecologist in Mumbai, Google prepares its own network using very, very complicated algorithms in the background. And on the basis of the result of that algorithm, these results are displayed on Google. So now these algorithms, they are very, very highly advanced, and moreover, they are updated continuously. So what they do is search engine optimization. Search engine is what? Google search engine. Optimization is what? Improving something all the time, right? In a very optimized manner. So there are certain factors. If your website adheres to those features and characteristics, then automatically your website is going to come over here, right? And this is known as what? This is known as page rank. आपकी website का क्या ranking है? If it's first page rank, then it is going to come on the top over there. So again, those list over there, those are paid searches. At the bottom, if you go, you will get the organic searches. If you search for MCA colleges in Mumbai, I really hope we get our college as a first college. Yeah. So now what about SEO? When we are creating a website, getting the website in the very first rank, it's not an easy task. I believe, how many of you actually have your website Can you please raise your hand? How many of you have outsourced digital marketing of your website? Any one of you has outsourced? Yes. So the only thing which we would be doing over here is, in just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we'll tell you that there are so many times when people come and tell you that we'll prepare a website for you. So we see our list is coming over there also, and at the bottom also, if we are writing, then again, this is giving all generic searches. Okay. So what pointers you have to keep in mind is that when you're creating your website, there are certain aspects which you have to keep in mind. And when someone approaches you that we would do digital marketing for your website, which is basically they're telling you that we'll improve your page rank and make you visible on the Google, that is, we'll do SEO for you. Right? Now, there are some white hat SEO techniques, and there are some, the presentation, the second slide. There are some white hat SEO techniques and there are some black hat SEO techniques. Now, what are the white hat? That is the correct rasta. What was the name of the movie? Shah Rukh Khan and Dil Wale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. You know, शाहरुख खान को डायलॉग बोला जाता है, जो मुश्किल रास्ता रहता है और एक आसान रास्ता रहता है. आसान रास्ता रह के कभी मंजिल नहीं मिलेगी, वो मिलेगी तो भी हाथ से चली जाएगी, और मुश्किल अगर रास्ता है तो तुम समझ जाओ कि तुम सही रास्ते पे हो. So it's the same concept over here. Same concept over here. Now, keywords and content relevance. ऐसे ही you cannot improve your website. Your website should be having correct relevant keywords over there. So now if it is a website of a gynecologist, the key terminology which is there in your gynecology, like, you know, maybe you're talking about IVF, fertility issues, you're talking about laparoscopy treatments. So those keywords have to be over there. If there is some new disease or new issue which is there, which is prevalent right now, and if your website is also talking about it, the more your website is talking about the key and relevant issues, that many searches may the website is going to go up. So keyword and content relevance. Then second is the website structure and usability. What do you mean by website structure? I don't know whether you people have faced it or not. Fault 404, page not found. Many a time you have broken links. Like you click on one page, you are expected to go to another page, but that is a broken link. एक link से एक page पे जब click कर रहे हैं तो दूसरे link पे जाने की जगह we are getting an error in between, right? So that kind of errors, if there are there in your website, then again your website rank is going to go down, right? Usability, if the user is going to page A, then page B, then page C, and then page D, every single time you see that it is happening, and you can capture all this information in the background. That is known as Google Analytics, your web analytics. You can always capture that information with just a click. So if user is always going from page A, you see that A to B, B to C, C to D they are going, then why not have a direct link from page A to D, right? So the easier the website is in traversing the click streams, it is easier going to be, it is going to be better user-friendly website. Third is page load speed and mobile optimization. Google is continuously trying to optimize its algorithms. 0.1 milliseconds वगैरह से भी अगर improve हो सकता है, then they are trying to achieve that. So similarly, if your website takes a lot of time, nowadays that means instant gratification. If we are taking maybe 1 millisecond more, and the current generation which is there, they'll switch out to another website. So your website needs to load fast. Plus, it should be, reactive to all the devices which are there. Because nowadays, we also know that people access websites not only from machines, but from mobile devices, as well as iPads, etc. Right? Quality and quantity of backlinks. Now, this is something which is excessively important. What do you mean by link? Your website is there. Now, as your website is not just one entity on web. Your website would have connects to other websites. Other websites will be connected to your website. So for example, if on some doctor's website, there is a link for AMC, All India Medical Consultants. Now, if the doctor has a link to AMC, that gives some credibility to your website, right? Why some credibility? Because AMC is a recognized AMC website must be being visited by many people. So AMC has some credibility in itself, right? So that gives some credibility to your website. But what gives more credibility to your website in case AMC website has link to your website? आप किसको पूछ रहे हैं, आप किससे लिंक कर रहे हैं, उसका वेटेज है. But आपको कौन लिंक कर रहा है, that has tremendous amount of weightage. So if your website is being referenced at other trusted sources, then the weightage of your website increases because that gives authenticity to your website, right? So that is there. Plus, over here, this is the place where the digital marketing media fools a lot of people. They try to fool them. In what sense? Along with this is how many visits have happened to that website, right? If more number of people are coming to your website and they're staying on your website, one is they come, visit, and they immediately go back because they're not finding anything of use over there. Whereas once they come over here and they stay on your website, that means what? They are finding something useful on your website. So if that happens, more number of people visiting, staying on your website, again the weightage increases. Now here what digital marketing people do is, they prepare robotic codes which will visit your website again and again. Now this is what, temporarily it increases your page rank because more number of visits are happening to your website. But then as I said, Google is updating its algorithm all the time. So, and they catch hold of all these things very fast. And then if your website is found to be doing such things, then the website is blacklisted from entering into the Google search engine listing itself, right? And that is the way people, you know, increase the website rank temporarily for a certain amount of time. Domain authority and trustworthiness, .gov, domain matlab kaise, .gov, .com, like ours is thakureducation.org. .in, that is for India. So these government.org, this is the domain which you're talking about. The more, higher level the domain is, it is going to be more trustworthy, right? That is there. Social signals and engagement. At what all, again the same thing it turns to be, where all your site is being referenced and where all your site is, you are referring what. So usually what we suggest is that on your website itself, you have links to your Facebook also, your LinkedIn also, your Insta, YouTube, whatever is there. So you have those links. If you have your profile on AMC website, if there is some provision such, you have an introductory page for every doctor on AMC website, then keep that introductory page link on your website because that immediately gives authenticity to your website, right? If you can have the provision wherein you have an AMC directory of all the doctors and over there on that page of the AMC doctors, you have one link to their website only. So that will give authenticity to their website because AMC is referring to their website. Right? So this cross-referencing thing should happen. User experience and bounce rates, we already talked about that. It should be easy for user to move around, and bounce rate is they come and they leave. That's bouncing back, right? So that should be very, very less. Then the technical SEO elements, you can leave it to the designer of your website because that's a typical way. Every page, it needs to have some tags and schema, etc., which is defined over there, which tells what is the page about. So that itself is going to there. Content, freshness and updates. As I said, if it's talking about relevant stuff, so like for example, COVID came and immediately if you talk, your website is talking about how pregnant women need to deal with COVID, right? So then your website is talking about relevant stuff. Along with relevance, it is also about historical stuff in the sense, has your website come in today only, right? Or has your website been there for 10 years? If your website has been for 10 years, definitely it will have more weightage as compared to the website which has just come up today, right? So for how long you have been there on web, even that gives credibility to it. Okay, and the last is the local SEO factors. You have Google, My Business, etc. If you're registered over there also, wherein you apply to Google Business, and they ask for your name, address, phone number, and then they verify you as a user. So that's what is NAP consistency. You have maybe 4-5 businesses wherein you are using that website, and all those websites are linked, and if you're having your name, address, phone number different at different places, so if they're consistent throughout, so that again gives more credibility to your website. So basically, what we just wanted to convey is that you get your website created. These are the factors which you have to take into consideration when you're getting your website created. And also at the same time, you have to be aware of certain aspects wherein you do not get caught hold by people who are presenting these digital solutions to you. So for that, I hand over the session to Professor Meera, who is going to talk about dark web.
Good morning, all of you. So today I am talking about dark web. So whatever we are seeing. Hello? It's audible. Okay. So whatever we are seeing on internet, okay, that is only the 4% of the part of whole internet, you can say. That 96% of the part of the internet is dark web, or you can say it's a divide between the dark web and the gray web, okay, which is not visible currently in any search engine websites like Google. Never you can find that type of website online. Okay, so we will talk about that, and we will see how medical domain also affected by this type of dark web. Okay, so first of all, what is this dark web? So this particular project was started in 2000 by the student in the University of Edinburgh. The student name is Len Clark, and who set out to create a distributed, decentralized information storage and retrieval system. Now, this is just a kind of a system which will entertain anonymous users for the communication. Now, anonymous user means they are not knowing who are communicating, okay, and they are sharing the information's content and they are communicating. Okay, this is just a fun project, you can say, but now it is, you can say, headache for the cyber cell. You can see here, on 9th October 2023, one data breach happened. Now, this data breach happened by this particular profile, PWN0001. Now, nobody is knowing still date who is this person. Okay, and what he has done, he was offering access to 815 million records, including sensitive details like passport and Aadhaar card of Indian people. Now, this particular data on sale on darknet. Okay, so now our information is our information they are selling on this particular net. Okay, and for that they have already gave 4 lakhs profiles to cross check. Okay, whether the data is true data or not. So now the information is there with that person, and the person was selling this particular sensitive data on internet. Okay, so how harmful this is for us. Okay, so this type of things done on dark web. Before we go with the dark web, just we check out what are the basics of this dark web. Okay. As I told you, dark web, no, it's a hidden part of the internet. Nobody can access this directly. So if anybody want to access this particular kind of thing, then they have to go through Tor software, that is the onion router. Okay, so this is the kind of software they require to use if they want to go for this particular data access. Okay, and another thing, what is this, the onion router? In the beginning itself, we have seen distributed, decentralized, etc., etc. Okay, so now decentralized means what? Now, first of all, we will understand the basic techniques. Okay, now suppose you want to access some website on internet. Okay, how that page is coming to your system? Anybody is having any knowledge about this technology, sir? Okay, so now suppose I want to access any website. First of all, I require to write the name of the website on Google address bar. Okay, then only that website will come, right? Now, as and when I write that data, okay, what happened behind the scene? Okay, so now in my classroom, there are 60 students, but I don't know the name of the students, right? But I need to know the roll number of that students. Okay, I can easily maintain all the information regarding that particular students through roll number, because maybe possible two names are same. Okay, but roll number must be different. Okay, so that way each and every device, each and every website is having their IP address. If you are having your mobile phone, if you are having your tablet, your iPad, laptop, your computer, router, each and every device is having one unique IP address. Okay, 32-bit IP address. Now, this particular, whenever you request anything, what happened behind the scene? Now the data will, if the data is available, suppose Google we are accessing every day. Okay, so that is stored on your PC itself, that first page. Okay, तो उसको बाहर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Temporary internet folder file होती है, उसी में से वो ले लेता है data. But now suppose you are accessing one website first time. Okay, then what happened? तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा कि वो जाएगा कहाँ पे? Internet service provider. Now, whenever you want to access any internet data, you require internet connectivity. Okay, for that maybe you are having router. Okay, and this router is connected with Hathway, something, Reliance, Jio. ठीक है, तो ये सारे क्या है आपके इंटरनेट सर्विस प्रोवाइडर जो आपको सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हैं, और वहां पे उनके पास एक सर्वर रहता है, डीएनएस सर्विस, जिसको बोलते हैं डोमेन नेम सर्वर. Each and every website is having IP address and that table is there in the domain name server. Okay, तो वहां पे वो क्या होता है, वो डेटा का नाम जाता है, वहां से क्या लेकर आता है? IP एड्रेस. और अब उसको समझ में आता है कि ओके, दिस पर्टिकुलर साइट इज yahoo.com, it will go to Yahoo server and access the page. Clear? If it is for Microsoft, then IP address will be different. It will go to Microsoft server, access the page. Clear? So that way each and everything is having unique IP address. उसके बिना काम नहीं होगा. ठीक है? अच्छा, अभी जो डार्क वेब में जो काम कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, वो तो ऐसे आईपी एड्रेस से पकड़े जाने चाहिए, बिकॉज साइबर सेल क्या करता है? इट इज साइबर सेल ऑलवेज ट्रैक डिवाइस आईपी एड्रेस, और उसके थ्रू उसको लोकेशन मिल जाता है कि कहां से कम्युनिकेशन हुआ है. ठीक है, बिकॉज देर आर टू टाइप ऑफ राउटर्स, प्राइवेट पब्लिक, इतनी डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे, पर वो लोकेशन भी समझ में आ जाता है. ओके, दिस इज द प्लेस वेयर द कम्युनिकेशन हैपेंड. Okay, so that way cyber cell can track that person easily. Why this person not tracked up till now? Because they are using Tor device, the Tor software, that is the onion router, which is in the form of nodes and relays. It means decentralized system is there. The system is not in one server, first of all. It is on multiple servers. ठीक है, बहुत सारे सर्वर पे इंफॉर्मेशन होगी, जिसको मिला के एक इंफॉर्मेशन बनेगी. तो सबसे पहले तो वो कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन है वो भी पता नहीं चलेगा. प्लस दे आर फ्लक्चुएटिंग आईपी एड्रेस. ओके, देयर इज नो कांस्टेंट वन आईपी एड्रेस. आईपी एड्रेस आर चेंजिंग एवरी मिनट. Okay, so now which particular server is responsible for this particular thing, that we cannot come to know. Okay, we cannot trace that person actually. Okay, so that is what happened with this onion routers which they are using, and then they are using cryptocurrency for the transaction. What is cryptocurrency? So cryptocurrency is the form of digital currency which is the technology behind. They are using cryptography for security and privacy. Okay, and the system they are using, that is blockchain system. Okay, so in that blockchain system, what happened? How they are communicating actually. So suppose one notebook is there, okay, and that notebook is having 100 pages, right? Now in this 100 pages, what happened? Multiple users are doing transactions online. So एक person ने transaction किया page 1 के ऊपर कुछ, ठीक है, और वही page 1 पे आधी information store हुई, ठीक है, और दूसरी आधी इंफॉर्मेशन वापस से दूसरे नोड में स्टोर होगी, दूसरी आधी इंफॉर्मेशन तीसरे नोड में स्टोर होगी. ऐसे करते करते एक नोड से नोड ज्वाइन होते जाते हैं, अ चेन बनती है एक. ठीक है, एंड दैट वे द इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर्ड, एंड दैट स्टोर्ड इन SHA, that is सिक्योर हैश की 256. सो यहाँ पे वापस से क्या होता है, एनक्रिप्शन होता है डेटा का, और उसके बाद वो स्टोर होती है. अब ये इंफॉर्मेशन जो स्टोर होगी, जो एनक्रिप्शन होगा, वो किसको पता होगा? जिसने वो स्टोर किया होगा. So if the cyber cell come to know that, okay, this particular information is on internet, okay, and they download that information, then also they cannot trace that data. Why? Because that decryption key is not there. Okay, encryption तो हो गया, पर उसको decrypt करने के लिए भी तो चाहिए, वरना डेटा क्या है पता ही नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है. सो इसके लिए वो पर्सन ट्रेस ही नहीं होता फिर. ठीक है, कि वो कौन है. ठीक है. अब ये पर्सन अपना एनोनिमस प्रोफाइल कैसे मेंटेन करता है? ठीक है, कि वो ट्रेस ही ना हो पाए. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे यूज टॉर ब्राउजर, एज आई टोल्ड यू. देन दे यूज VPN network, that is virtual private network. Now what is this virtual private network? So one is public network, we all know, that is ISP network, okay, internet service provider. ठीक है. तो जो अपना प्राइवेट इंटरनेट नेटवर्क वो लोग यूज करेंगे, सो दैट नोबडी कैन हैक दैट डेटा के हु इज कम्युनिकेटिंग राइट नाउ. ठीक है. Then secure messaging platform they will use. They will use all the steps so that they cannot identify by other person. Okay. Now this is very interesting. What all services were provided by the Tor platform. First of all is marketplaces. It's all type of illegal markets. Marketplaces are there for various type of goods and service. Okay, forums and communication. As I told you, it is not only dark. Sometimes we can say the gray line also. Some good communication forums are also there. Okay, then hacking service, denial of service attack. Okay, suppose Flipkart and Amazon टू आर कंपेटिटर. ओके, और फ्लिपकार्ट का कम मार्केट चल रहा है तो उसको लगता है कि अमेजोन का सर्वर ही ब्लॉक कर देते हैं. सर्वर किसी को एक्सेस ही नहीं होना चाहिए, लोग खरीद ही नहीं पाएंगे तो मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके खरीदेंगे. ठीक है. तो क्या होता है, वो लोग डिनाइल ऑफ सर्विस अटैक करते हैं, मतलब इतना रिक्वेस्ट एक साथ भेज देते हैं कि वो सर्वर ही डाउन हो जाता है, एक्सेस ही नहीं होता किसी से. ठीक है. तो नाउ बाय डिफॉल्ट जिसको अर्जेंसी है दे गो फॉर अनदर प्लेटफॉर्म. ठीक है. सो ये सारी चीजें होती हैं. ठीक है. सो दिस आर द थिंग्स हैपेंड इन दिस particular dark web. Now what all medical frauds happened on dark web? Okay, so sales of fake medicines. Okay, the medicines prepared without any safety norms, okay, you can say. Okay, so that type of drugs they sell in this particular dark web. Illegal prescription drugs. Sometimes some are the drugs you can only purchase if you are having prescriptions, but here you can get that also. Then medical identity theft, because every information is there with the person, so they can use that particular information for any type of fraud. Then fraudulent health insurance claim, sales of stolen medical supplies. ओके, सो यहाँ पे जो स्टोलन इक्विपमेंट्स है वो भी यहाँ पे सेल होते हैं. ठीक है. सो दिस आर द थिंग्स हैपन अंडर मेडिकल. सो व्हाट रोल ऑफ हिडन टॉर सर्विस इन साइबर क्राइम. सो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि साइबर क्राइम कैसे बढ़ रहा है. ठीक है. व्हाट द बैंडविड्थ यूज्ड बाय दिस डार्क वेब, यू कैन सी हियर. ये जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट एंड कंज्यूम्ड बैंडविड्थ बाय रिले फ्लैग्स. तो दिस आर द इंक्रीमेंटल ग्राफ यू कैन सी. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो नंबर ऑफ रिलेज. नंबर ऑफ रिलेज मीन्स कितने फ्लक्चुएटिंग सर्वर्स दे आर यूजिंग टू गेट द डेटा. ओके, और यहाँ पे एक बिग ड्रॉप आप देख सकते हो. वो ड्रॉप किसके लिए है? ड्यूरिंग कोविड-19 द एक्टिविटीज वर नॉट दैट मच एक्टिव, यू कैन से, बट उसके बाद वापस से वो बढ़ गया. ठीक है. सो दिस आर द चैलेंजेस अंडर डार्क वेब एंड हाउ वी कैन सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम. So this is lack of jurisdiction across border, because this is not only one country matter. Okay, it is overall. You can say all the countries are involved in this, so they have to come together to solve this problem. Okay, so that is what. And using this blockchain, public blockchain, people are going for dark web. you can say, exponential rate. So we require to go to private blockchain so that some centralized control must be there. So, and people can know, okay, these are activities are happening through this endpoints. Okay, so this is what about the dark web. Okay. So this is what the technology, policies, and partnership we can use to solve this problem. Okay. So yes, that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
We'll be starting with the panel discussion now. Just a second. I believe if there are some questions from the audience. Demonstration of dark web would be a bit difficult over here, sir, because like, you know, maybe in the college when we are there, we can give a demonstration over there, because this is being telecast live on YouTube also. So, so yes, we can definitely give a demo over there in the college. Yes, sir. Can we please move around? Someone please move around the mic over there. We can, by the time our panelists prepare for the panel discussion, we'll just take a 2 minutes. Till that time, we can take questions. Yeah.
Hello. The question is, if I go on Google One and if I figure out dark web is showing me 10 or 11 breaches, wherein I am getting email, password, and other sensitive data, which has been used by dark web, and it has been stolen from my my entries done so far. How do we go and repair this part?
As I told you, currently, whatever the data breach happened in 2023, still cyber cell, not only Indian cyber cell, we are taking help of other countries' cyber cell also, and still we are not reaching to that person who has done this. Okay, but still, whatever the data was there on cell, they have removed that particular part, but still that person was there. And sometimes what happened, as their profiles are not known, then that time they come up with the new profiles. Okay, so now the same person is doing the thing with a different name. Okay, so we cannot come out with the things like this, but we require to secure our data. Okay, so sometimes we are having, many times we are having this practice, we log in anywhere. Okay, so when we are logging, please try to remember that we require to log out also. Okay, so that is what we can do. And now in workshop, you are learning all the AI tools. Okay, now you think about this, if this particular thing done by AI, okay, तो वो कहाँ लेके जाएगा? ठीक है? What is AI? Okay, act like human. Okay, think like human. Okay, and think like human में भी think rationally. Rationally means correctly. मशीन कभी wrong नहीं हो सकता. इंसान wrong हो सकते हैं. ठीक है? तो वो हर टाइम अगर correct decision लेगा, तो कहाँ तक आगे जाएगा वो? ठीक है? So it's very dangerous also for us, you can say. Okay, so we require to save ourselves and be careful, be safe.
As you right now mentioned that there can be a hacking done from our side. So when we approach, first of all, they ask us to lodge a complaint with the cybercrime. I want to know two things in particular. Is there any system wherein there is something like a government and a private sector. For example, a government has its own way of tackling the problem, or we can approach a private sector who can help us out.
Yeah, both the particulars are there, private and public, but you always go with the government cyber cell, so that the data also shared by the government directory, that okay, these are the things happening here, so it will be useful in the future for other person also. Okay, so the same technique both are using, so you go for the government cyber cell always. Okay, and how to protect or how to save ourselves first. Okay, so first of all, as I told you, don't use other person machines first of all. Okay, try to avoid it. As in when you log in, always log out. Okay, always visit website which are safe website. Sometimes what happen in Facebook or Instagram or any social media, नीचे कुछ वेबसाइट का लिंक दिखता है, हम ऐसे ही क्लिक कर देते हैं. ठीक है, हमें पता ही नहीं होता कि वो क्या है क्या नहीं है. So we require to reduce these things, right? Because what happen, जैसे कि अभी SMS में भी आता है, आप 1 करोड़ रुपए जीत रहे हो, आप यहाँ पे क्लिक करो. ठीक है ना? अगर वो 1 करोड़ जीत रहा होता, हम 1 करोड़ उसकी वजह से जीत रहे होते, तो उसको मैसेज डालने की जरूरत नहीं होती. ठीक है, सो दैट वे वी रिक्वायर टू बी विजिलेंट ऑल द टाइम कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं. ओके, क्या एक्टिविटी हो रही है. और ये डिजिटल एज में नाउ पीपल आर, जैसे कि जो एजेड पर्सन है वो अभी भी ऑनलाइन पेमेंट नहीं करना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज दे थिंक कि इन बिटवीन किसी ने पैसा ले लिया, तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. दिस आर ऑल using IPsec protocol. It's a internet protocol security. जो layer है, एक another layer is there. Nobody can breach that layer. So this is very, very, very secure. You can do online transactions, but as I told you, only with your device. आपका ही device use करना है. करने के बाद वापस से लॉग आउट करना है, और आपको कुछ पैटर्न उसमें रखना है ताकि समझ में आए, कोई और उसके अंदर एंटर ना हो. अगर उसके पास मोबाइल आ भी जाए तो वो कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. क्लियर? सो दैट वे यू रिक्वायर टू यूज. और पासवर्ड्स, वेन एवर वी आर यूजिंग पासवर्ड्स, वी आर यूजिंग सेम टाइप ऑफ पासवर्ड एवरीवेयर. तो इसको एक अगर पता चल गया तो वो तो सारी चीजें आपकी ले लेगा. ठीक है? Yes, very difficult to remember. So what to do now? यहाँ पे आपको एक फाइल बना के रखनी है कि आज के दिन पे ये पासवर्ड इधर चेंज हुआ है. ठीक है, आज के दिन पे इसका ये पासवर्ड है. एक इंपॉर्टेंट फाइल बना के रखिए और उसको जरूर सिक्योर कीजिए. ठीक है, क्योंकि अगर वो किसी के पास चला गया तो इट विल बी, हाँ ये हो सकता है. Yes.
Excuse me.
Indirectly,
I have a question.
we have to keep on remembering so many IP addresses and so many passwords. And you mean to say we should keep on changing it also to keep it more
Password
secure?
you require to change, yes. Password
And
you
then
require to
again,
change. Even आपकी मशीन के पासवर्ड को भी आप, मतलब मशीन को भी पासवर्ड रखिए, लैपटॉप या डेस्कटॉप है उसको भी, और उसको भी आप चेंज कीजिए. पासवर्ड को चेंज करते रहना चाहिए, so that you cannot hack easily by someone. Yes, sir.
As a doctor, what we are scared about is the bank fraud,
Yes.
Because our accounts, whatever we are operating, we are not well versed with the computer. We are not computer savvy.
Correct.
Whatever you told us, the one thing which I remember is never share your PIN number to anybody. Nobody asks is the PIN number.
PIN number, password, nothing.
Acha, what password? As far the password is concerned, what I do is that there are so many devices and there are different passwords are there. Correct. So I make the list of it. I email it to myself.
हाँ, that is good. But ऐसा ना हो कि वो आपने कहीं और physically कहीं पे रखा है.
No,
और,
no, only email it to myself.
Email it to yourself.
And then
Yes,
whenever I am changing, I go in there and I change it, or I put it in a Google Sheet. Okay. And Google Sheet is there where I can get access to that.
Yes,
whenever.
I know. Please
Achha.
don't give share मतलब share डॉक्यूमेंट शेयर भी कर सकते हैं आप, तो वो मत कीजिए फिर उसको. भूल से क्या होता है, समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपन, हमने एक फोल्डर बना लिया गूगल ड्राइव के अंदर और हम सारा डेटा वहाँ पे स्टोर कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, अब किसी ने कुछ मांगा तो हमने फोल्डर ही शेयर करके दे दिया, भाई सारा ले ले, और हम भूल ही गए कि हमारा इतना इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा उसके अंदर था.
Correct.
ठीक है, सो नाउ there is no limit for Gmail addresses, right? So you can create one private Gmail address for yourself only and upload your private data there. Clear? So एक अकाउंट ही अलग रखो उसका. ठीक है, और उसमें सारी इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें रखो आप.
What I was trying to tell you that can you suggest us some more precautions what we can do so that we don't become the culprit of getting a
Yes.
bank fraud?
Now, what happened whenever we are using any laptop or desktop devices, okay, वहाँ पे एंटीवायरसेस के लिए पूछते हैं कि भाई आपके यहाँ पे एंटीवायरस नहीं है, और हम लोग सीधा उसको क्रॉस करके निकल जाते हैं, ठीक है. बट वी रिक्वायर्ड टू यूज एंटीवायरस. ओके, वो लेना, बिकॉज हैकिंग कहाँ से होगा? दो तरीके से हैकिंग हो सकता है. आइदर आपका जो डेटा है वो फायरवॉल के थ्रू नहीं आ रहा है, ठीक है, इफ फायरवॉल इज नॉट देयर मींस एंटीवायरस इज नॉट देयर, एंड सेकंड यू आर समथिंग डूइंग थ्रू इंटरनेट. ओके, दो ही जगह पे ऐसा हो सकता है, ठीक है. तो इंटरनेट के थ्रू तो हम ध्यान रख रहे हैं कि वी ऑलवेज गो फॉर सिक्योर वेबसाइट. ओके, we are not, if we will not use any website which is not known earlier to me, तो उसको जाने से पहले 5 बार सोचो कि वो कौन सी है. हम लोगों का क्या रहता है ना आज के ज़माने में, we are even in any age we are used to see shorts. ऐसे शॉर्ट्स देखते रहते हैं यूट्यूब पे, ठीक है. तो हमको सारी चीज़ें फटाफट करने की आदत हो गई है, तो हम कुछ भी पढ़े बिना क्लिक बटन दबा के आगे निकल जाते हैं, और वो क्या बोल रहे हैं वो मैसेज हम कभी नहीं पढ़ते. सो यू रिक्वायर टू सी द मैसेज फर्स्ट कि क्या बोल रहा है, फिर ही क्लिक करना है आपको. ऐसे ही क्लिक करके आगे नहीं जाना है कहीं पे भी. इवन यू आर यूजिंग नॉर्मल वेबसाइट और यू आर ऑन फेसबुक और इंस्टाग्राम और ट्विटर, ठीक है, कहाँ पे भी क्या एक्टिविटी हो रही है वो आपको ध्यान देना है. कभी भी फैमिलियर वेबसाइट नहीं है अगर, तो वहाँ पे नहीं जाना है, ठीक है, और पासवर्ड प्रोटेक्ट करके रखना है.
For the Amazon site purchasing, once you enter the data of your card, debit card or credit card, first time you enter everything and this thing, but that data remains there only. And next time when you purchase, you just have to enter the CVV. So is that safe? I think it fit. In fact, that data should be removed immediately rather than every time you should enter the entire this thing.
Nobody can enter in your profile and
downloading apps, most of the apps, there is a permission that whether you can give access to the phone, whether your location should be accessed. What type of protocol should we follow before downloading the apps? We have to allow the access, or we have to allow the permission to access our location, whether it can access for contacts or not. So whether we should give them access or not. If we give them access, what will be the benefit? If we don't give the access, what is the drawback?
Very good question, actually. Whenever we are downloading any mobile app, they are asking for the permission to access. I am repeating. So question is, whenever we are downloading any mobile apps, they are asking for the different type of permissions. Okay, permissions for gallery access, permission for contact access. Okay, so whether we require to go through with this access or not. Okay, so now here also we require to see which type of mobile app you are downloading. Okay, it's if the mobile app is not secure mobile app, okay, then you don't have to download it at all. Okay, so it may be, suppose AMC mobile app is there, for example. Okay, so now you know the person, you know the things, you can download. Okay, but if you are downloading, let's say calendar. Okay, so there are n number of calendar app is there to maintain your private calendar. Okay, so instead of going to this type of third-party calendar app, you go with the Google Calendar. Okay, so that way you require to see the genuineness of the app and then go with that. Plus, there are some reviews and ratings for each and every mobile app in Google Play Store. So you require to see how many reviews are there. अगर किसी ने 5 review और 5 rating दिया है, it means वो तो अभी market में आई है, ठीक है. But किसी के पास 10,000 से भी ऊपर 1 लाख review है और उसका 4.5 rating है, तो वो अच्छी है. Okay, so that way you require to see the genuineness of the mobile app.
Excuse me, ma'am. I think we can take the rest of the questions. In the workshop. We'll be proceeding with the session. Rupali, could you please go and check out where Vinita ma'am is? Acha, she's. So now moving on towards the next session, I would request our student Annapurna to please come forward.
It is with great enthusiasm that we commence our panel discussion on the crucial topic of empowering doctors with technology, health literacy, and finance. Our esteemed moderator for this session is Dr. Mukesh Gupta, who brings a wealth of experience and expertise to guide our conversation. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest, Manoj Sharma, a seasoned portfolio manager with a global market perspective and a deep-rooted commitment to financial planning. With over a decade of experience in financial analysis, valuation, and strategic wealth management, Mr. Manoj brings a wealth of expertise to our discussion today. His academic qualification includes an MBA in finance, certified financial planner, chartered wealth manager, and he is currently pursuing the Chartered Financial Analyst Level 2 certification. Let's have a short glimpse of his introductory video first. Now I would like to invite our director, Dr. Vinita Gaikwad, ma'am, to felicitate Mr. Manoj Sharma, sir.
Check. Check.
Please, sir, please be seated on the dais. I would request Dr. Hemal Maniyar and Dr. Jayesh Lele to please join Mr. Manoj on the dais for the panel discussion. I would request our director, Dr. Vinita Gaikwad, also to please join on the dais for the panel discussion. And the next person, though we have very esteemed guest at our premises over here for the ICAM conference, but I am the most proud to introduce the next member on our panel, which is Mr. Jaimin Bhatt. Mr. Jaimin has, and why that sense of pride is there, because Jaimin is an alumnus of TIMSCDR. He is working with a fintech company, Homeville Group, and because of some technical aspect, you're not able to play his video. Yeah, and so Jaimin has, we'll come up with this introductory video once he switches it over there. Should I play now? Yeah, please. I request Professor Rupali to please present a memento to Mr. Jaimin. Now we hand over the session to Dr. Mukesh Gupta.
Check. So in the meanwhile, that they're getting it sorted, let me just quickly run through. So this panel discussion is more about an open house with, what are things that we have been trying to do over the years. And our intention is to keep it open, and we'll be taking questions also. But then let us try to understand the basic things first. And there will be a complete workshop on AI in the afternoon. So mind you, these are doctors here. They are not the technology experts. And we have some inputs coming from people who are dealing with fintech and technology, so that we get a perspective from the other side. Tell me when you're ready. Okay. Right. So let me just set the ball rolling with some interesting concept. Can we put on the sound? Okay, this is an interesting video which talks about how every person in India is expected to have a digital card like the Aadhaar card, called as the Aabha card. Ayushman Bharat Health Authority is going to be providing these cards. And right on the 74th Independence Day, Modi ji announced it from the dais on the 15th August that they are going to implement this concept in India. और अब मैं बीजेपी का जो है मोदी जी ने बोला तो बोला, सो होने वाला है, ये बात तो पक्की है. बट हाउ मच टाइम एंड व्हाट आर द इश्यूज दैट वी कैन ट्राई टू सॉर्ट इट आउट इज समथिंग दैट वी विल इन ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ टाइम वी विल लर्न. So another interesting thing that I want to tell you is that whether we like it or not, this is going to come. So let me give you a little glimpse of it. But before that, an interesting quote. When Steve Jobs was dying, he was having, I came across this lovely interview from him. And he said that he is extremely proud that his son has got exposure to two different fields because of my long journey of disease. Imagine the emotion of a father. Trust me, as a father, my son just finished his final MBBS and he gave his final Viva yesterday. So I know how the feeling is, that how you are really working all the time thinking ki next generation kya karega, right? Just as Sonu madam itne saalon ke rishte ko एक चुटकी भर टाइम में मिट्टी मिला दिया, जैसे उनका स्टूडेंट आ गया पैनल में बैठने के लिए. जय मिन. Because the next generation is more valuable to us than the present generation. We all believe that and we all hope to do that. He said that the biggest innovation of 21st century will be the intersection of biology, that is health and medicine, and technology. Now, if he said that because of my disease, my son has been able to be exposed to both the worlds, and I think that was one good thing which came out of my disease. Now, this is something which you cannot forget in our present generation, that we need to amalgamate these two aspects. Now, what is this UHI that we are talking about? Just as there was that, there was UPI, Unified Payment. You go to any other country, they are surprised that कैसे हम लोग ऐसा बटन के ट्रांजैक्शन से उधर भेलपुरी पानीपुरी खा रहे हैं और वो बंदा बनाया जा रहा है और पैसा भी नहीं ले रहा है और कोई कुछ बोल रहा है और वो अनाउंस हो रहा है 15 रुपया मिला 20 रुपया मिला. हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी है, पीपल फाइंड इट सरप्राइजिंग. बोलते हैं इंडिया में ये जादू कैसे हो रहा है. People are not carrying this. In fact, I remember one of my friends telling me, "Yaar, when we traveled to US and I met my cousin, and when I was asking them that we need to pay the payment, and it was so funny that none of them understood that how the payment has become so easy now in India." Go back to 2016 when we did the first session in this very campus, where demonetization was an alien concept and people were really worried, and we were training them how to use this UPI. Today, and in the last year's session, we had done a whole workshop and training program on how to use UHI. And we are training us. And I am seeing that today lots of new faces are there who did not attend. How many of you have attended the last year's session? Okay, only few of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run through, highlight and glimpse, and I'm not going to waste my time, but I'm going to sensitize you that this is something that you need to know. And we need to start understanding the value of UHI. Now, what is UHI? It's basically another interface which is expecting to amalgamate the content and information from patients at this side, the health service provider at this side, and technology providers at this side. And this gateway is nothing but a platform where the data will be shared from the hospital service provider, the end user application, and none other than the technology background. Now, what is the benefits of this and the NDHM? we are expecting that the diagnostic tests are not repeated and it is done one place and everything data is shared on that central portal and any doctor can access. Second opinion becomes easy. Even the patient is traveling from one place to another is easy. If doctors wants to share this and understand and take opinion, that is also possible. And this app and website is going to help us in a very big way. We discuss more about that, but I'm just giving a glimpse right now of what more can be done here. Okay, now when we are talking about this NDHM, the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, which was previously known as NDHM, has actually now been the terminology used. So हम लोग confused होते हैं, NDHM क्या है? So right now we are using the terminology Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. And it is now the backbone. The vision here is it has to be inclusive, accessible, affordable, and along with that, it has to be safe and efficient, and it has to have quick turnaround time so that the data is shared very fast. And that is what is the whole idea. And if you go and look into the mission, it talks about two important things, not just accessibility, but the important aspect of confidentiality and privacy. Now, all of us are worried, अरे data गया, चोरी हो गया तो, मेरे patient के बारे में दूसरे को पता चल गया तो. Well, that is exactly what was the fear when UPI came in. कि मेरे account से अगर गलती से इनके account में चल गया तो मेरी तो लग गई ना. So, but that is exactly the fear that has been addressed now and that has been taken care. And that is a primary mission. So we are using technology and we are using the tool of policy here by the government. And what is going to happen is, whether you like it or not, government is gradually moving towards that because it becomes easy to handle the governmental agencies, easy to handle all the issues. So at one end there are citizens, other end doctors, and third end there is policymakers. I'm skipping all these things, but there is an advantage to interoperability, which we have seen at the time of COVID. The moment we get our test done, it is updated on our COVID app. We have the vaccines, it is updated. Now the same data is easily transferred to your DigiLockers. Last time we had done a whole training program on how to use the DigiLocker. Anybody knows what is DigiLocker? Who's absolutely पहली बार सुना है क्या है मुकेश यार? ऐसा कौन है? Please don't be ashamed to say that. Yeah, many of us. So now you do not have to carry your licenses or your iCard or your Aadhaar card in person. I just carry my mobile and I just show the DigiLocker and I am getting access to the airport. There has been guidelines that the DigiLocker is considered to be an acceptable source of identity. If I am applying for some work in some governmental agency, I just allow them the DigiLocker access. There will be a permission and then when I accept it, they can easily draw it from the government. अब हमें जो government के document, in simple words, the emotion here is, जो government के documents हैं, जो एक एजेंसी हमसे मांग रही है और दूसरी एजेंसी के पास ऑलरेडी है जिसने इशू किया है, तो तुम हमसे क्यों मांग रहे हो? खुद का खुद देख लो ना अपनी ऑफिस में. हम खाली उन्हें परमिशन दे रहे हैं. Now that is such a futuristic and ease of working with. जैसे सर ने बोला कि वो बंदे को बोला कुछ मत करो, वेबसाइट पे जाओ, अपना ईमेल या फोन नंबर डालो और आपको आपका सब चीज मिल जाएगा. आप क्यों यहाँ वहाँ भटक रहे हो? Right? Now it is something, that is what is digitization all about, and that is something which I wanted you to understand, that it is now possible. Now there are some building blocks here where we as individuals will have to register ourselves not only as a patient in Abha, but also as a healthcare professional registry, which is coined that it is going to help us know who are authentic doctors and who are not. And that is going to be a difficult task. IMA is playing a very big role to see to it that there are no loopholes created. And we see to it that there is no big thing. I think more we can hear from sir afterwards. And another thing that I wanted to tell you is that the healthcare facility register, as in your clinics and the hospitals, uska bhi data has to be updated in that very soon. It is going to be easy for everyone, all agencies and everyone to know what are the services and other things available. Now, what is this Abha number and Abha address? It is very easy thing. Maybe if we time permits in the end in the workshop, we'll work about that. But all of us need to use these three things, Abha, HPR and HFR. Okay, so घर पे जाके Google करके लेना. And how does it help us? That Abha card will have right from your antenatal record to immunization record to wellness record, and all these documents are going to be there. And for every transaction, they call it transaction, a longitudinal data and a horizontal data. Longitudinal is right from a woman in the pregnancy, and then if she has any infection, other things, whether it is non-communicable, all that data is going to be captured in that thing. So Nordic nations has been doing it from a very long time. So we also had an opportunity to have collaboration with the Dutch Health and the Foreign Ministry for one of the IT conferences in the past in one of these sessions where we got a lot of information coming that what is the kind of practice that is happening in these Nordic nations and the developed nations which we can implement here in future. And it was such a beautiful thing to learn these things from those people who collaborated with us. Now, lastly, before I wrap up, I just want to say this one small thing, that these cards can be easily done in 5 minutes. And in last workshop, we had all the members do it and download on the spot and do it. So if you have time in the lunch break, just go and Google to the site of ABDM and ABHA and see if you can do it. And if you're able to do it, then probably it will be easy. Because we also had called last time the Executive Health Officer, the EHO of Mumbai City, who had come, Mangla Gomre madam had come here, and we had this whole training workshop of how to use it and how to manage it. Well, with this mindset, I want you to think that how technology cannot be denied, or we cannot say it's not for us. Whether you like it or not, we have to follow it. Whether you like it or not, you need to have your bank account and password and everything in your place, even if you're worried. You cannot now, आज अगर कोई अगर बैंक में जाता है बोलता है मेरा पासबुक भरा दो, तो पूरा का पूरा बैंक उसको देखने लगता है क्या आदमी किस जमाने का आ गया है. और मेरे फादर आज भी जिद करते हैं कि नहीं बेटा तू बराबर है, लेकिन पासबुक भराने के लिए मैनेजर को भेजते हैं. So ये आज भी हो रहा है. So it's like this, when somebody comes today to your clinic and says, मैडम ये इंजेक्शन देने से HIV तो नहीं हो जाएगा ना? वो वाली फीलिंग बैंकर्स को आती है जब आप पासबुक भराने के लिए मांगते हो तो. Can you imagine? So this is how the times have changed. And I remember such long queues just to fill the passbook in that era. So today when we're talking about IT, I'm going to start off with one of the persons who's the doyen of the industry, who has helped us, as I told you in the introduction, in the inauguration, not only one small association in basic accounting, but also larger associations, our national associations, to get their systems in place. He has also been a member of the Medical Council of Maharashtra, who are designating and designing our CME points. And he's also been part of discussions when National Medical Council was laying down the guidelines for the same. So he is a source, and can you guess who's that? Yes, can we have a round of applause for him? So I am going to start with a very personal question. And the personal question is this, that tell us some tips of what you have done and you have seen doing in your journey in organizations of digitalizing the whole process. Yeah, it's working, sir. It's working.
Yeah. Hello. No. Hello.
It's okay. This is working.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Mukesh, for kind words. And yes, definitely. Basically, as I was just discussing outside, what digitalization for our doctors, in not only in practice, but in a day-to-day life, as he mentioned something about the banking and Aadhaar and PAN and all the things. Just to tell you a little background, because my son and daughter both are in the IT and the computers field. They are not doctors basically, and they are in the USA. My son worked in Microsoft for 14 years. Now he's Facebook senior post. My daughter is in SAP field with solution architect in Dallas. She's working for a German company who's into SAP softwares. A lot of things are happening, of course, and they tell us that, oh, though you know nothing. Anyway, okay. Yes, definitely. But when they were progressing, I also took up this that.
You know nothing, or hum aapko guru mante hain, sir.
No, the thing is that this basically. I don't have any certificate or anything in the IT field or anything, but yes, right from the day one, I've been working, learning from friends and, all those things. So, as he mentioned, when I took up the post first time in the IMA and Malad probably, so that time the Malad Medical Association account were in a handwritten format. So I told him that no, first we must convert it into a Tally. And then I took the challenge of entire accounts being converted into Tally, and now till 2017-18 I was maintaining from 2003, so almost for 14-15 years Nobody took the account from me because they said, no, you only maintain because you are doing the work. Anyway,
I
that
was
is
also the treasurer and I said, sir, aap hi dekho.
he didn't do any work. Anyway, this just jokes apart. Now, of course, we do that. And day by day, see, basically, what X-rays we learned in the MBBS days. I'm talking about when I passed MBBS in '76. And today, what sonography and what, what we have, the MRI and CID, they were not existing that time. But then we have to learn. And day by day, it is so advancing. And if we don't educate ourselves, we will be backwards in that. Nowadays, in the beginning when the Google came, the patient used to ask us by searching first and then ask us the question. So in the beginning, we felt that no, this is something wrong. He's asking us, but then it was a testing time for us. And now we have ourselves graduated to understand how the search is made, how the things will open up, and then we are in a position to answer the patient what he is trying to ask us. Because that time, about 5 years back, the CMEs, what Mukesh mentioned, nobody had heard of web CMEs and web meeting and all. It was there, it was coming up. That time, I think G meeting was there, I think, group meeting or anything, but it was not popular. But now, with the 2020, it all came, and now everybody is using web CMEs and web forms every day. Digitalization and monetization was a very important concept. Before that, people were scared to use the credit card and other system, but immediately when the cash went out of the market, because for those certain days there was no cash in the market. 500 notes, 1,000 notes had gone, and 2,000 came after some time and 500 came after some time. Till that time, how to work on that? So people started using that. See, basically that was the governmental idea, political, keep apart the political activity behind that creating, but then it was a digitalization. And today, India is boosting ourselves as quite a great in the IT field over the world. Just like how medicine is there, I'm sure you also must be knowing, and of course we are in the IT hub, so they know far better than us. And definitely digitalization is required. So I went on to every association where I went. I saw to it that their website starts working properly, member software, member digitalization, app. I introduced app for various associations. And Mukesh, when you mentioned just now about the ABPM and ABDM, in fact, IMA was the first one to object that, because that time I was Secretary General, and we had almost once a week meeting in Delhi headquarters office when the situation is there. And they wanted IMA to implement that, and we said, no, you have a lot of deficiencies, you have a lot of issues, and we are not in a position to accept it. There were reasons to that, because see, what happens is there is a good side and the bad side of IT is corruption. And as the discussion you must have just heard some time back about the password thefts and our CVC theft and card theft. So similarly, there is a backside is that if you recollect in India at least, there were a lot of issues, and the encryption of that data is what we introduced now with this
blockchain technology.
And now it has come in properly, because I'll just give you an example. Some time back we had a TB notification, and nobody accepted TB notification. Mukesh, if you recollect it, and IMA said, no, we must accept TB notification. HIV, it was a taboo that, we were scared that somebody comes to know that somebody is purchasing TB or HIV drugs from the chemist, that message will be leaked out and given in the surrounding. There will be a lot of family issues, neighborhood issues and other things. And slowly we have taken over it. Now TB notification is a must. When Corona came, that time also notification was must, it was said, and that is how we could control that. So now we are seeing the best side and the good side of the IT, and we are slowly taking across the bad side or some corruption into that. We are trying to work over that. Of course, it is not true. It is there definitely. But then we are trying to work on that smaller things, and gradually we'll see to it that after some time we will have a great movement. And as I was mentioning about the transition on the emails, sales and other things, we will have to keep on learning. And as a doctors, I would advise you to keep your eyes and ears open, keep reading, start using the phone. You are buying today's smartphone. Everybody's phone has a smartphone, not less than 30,000-40,000, and it has a lot of functions. I'm sure you must have hardly used not even 10% of the functions of the IT. I don't know how many people are using it. Not even 10%. How much the phone can work. Just sit every day with the phone. Go on to the various... Sorry? Go on to the... Sorry?
Rohit has come. Dr. Rohit has come, so can we just ask him to join the panel?
So we should keep on using the phone and more. Just don't buy the phone just because it is a fancy phone. It is showing good pictures and on WhatsApp and all. Lot of things are there. Lot of working is there, and we should see to it that we use it for a longer time. Lot of softwares are there. And of course, digitalization will continue. It will progress further and further, and that is how, as a doctor field, in healthcare management, we will have to go ahead and yes, definitely there will be some issues, but we will be there to tackle that. Of course, if any questions would be there, then we'll take during the time of discussion. Thank you, Mukesh, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Before we end the program, you're going to ask him the list of 10 things that digitalization has helped in the organization to run it, so that all other organizations also implement it. So with this, I'll move on to Dr. Hemal Maniyar. Hemal Maniyar is a very popular and a very famous radiologist of the area. And what we have seen is that when the report comes to us nowadays, we immediately get those updates and, ऐसा WhatsApp पे आ जाता है, email पे आ जाता है, हमारे पास में सब कुछ आता है. So that is what the radio diagnostic industry has been using. So what have you seen in radiology changing over the years with the role of IT in the radiological sector?
Correct. Thank you, Mukesh. As Dr. Jayesh Lele sir said, that there is a lot of innovation happened in the radiology field. A couple of my radiology friends are here. Dr. Jayesh Bhai is here and in the audience. So they will agree with me that radiology has developed very well as far as the AI is concerned. It has changed. It has revolutionized totally how we report today. But prima facie, those were the days where X-rays were reported in the X-ray room, and now we have a PACS system. Anybody knows what is PACS apart from the radiologists? I don't want answer from the radiologists. What is PACS? PACS or PACS?
PACS हमको इतने आदमी आने वाले खाना खाने के लिए.
So that's PACS, but this is PACS. It's a picture archive and communication system. So that means we as a radiologist, we get, suppose I am supposed to report for 10 different centers. So we get images, that is pictures of the CT scan, MRI and X-rays from 10 different centers, and we archive them, and then we do the reporting, sitting at the home or maybe in office or anywhere remotely. So that is the best thing which AI has done or technology has done. But moreover, what AI has done, I will just like to share quickly that in a field of cardiogram, ECG, there is one company which has come up where they do the ECG. Thousands of ECG across the India, they reaches to the main quarter or main website, and over there they filter, AI filters the ECG. So AI has been taught that what are the ECGs which are almost normal, and these are the ECGs which needs immediate attention. So with the help of AI, that get filtered, and those with MI or some immediate action, that will pop up in front of the cardiologist who is reporting. And they report those ECGs first, and they give you a call back saying that this patient needs immediate attention. So that is the benefit of AI. And similar thing can happen in radiology also, and it has started happening when we have a lot of images coming out from multiple centers, maybe 50 centers, CT scan and MRI, and AI been taught, and AI can filter that, okay, these are the basic reporting which needs a reporting later on. You can do it later on, but these are the reports which needs to be given immediately, maybe intracranial hemorrhage or anything. So those things which are needed immediate attention can be filtered by AI, so that the workload on the radiologist reduces, and he can report those emergencies much faster, and we can react on the emergencies much faster.
Interesting. So now, let me put it this way. So when I pick up my phone, it opens because of my face. ठीक है, आप लोगों को तो और भी एक्सपीरियंस हुआ होगा, मेकअप करने के बाद भी पता चल जाता है यार, ठीक है, बट हाउ डज इट डू दैट? नाउ यूज दैट सेम टेक्नोलॉजी for looking at the X-rays and the CT scans and the abnormalities in the various different slides. Now AI has entered into that system and the technology is available there. Now that is something which is very interesting for us to understand, that what are the chances of someone else's face being used to open my phone? Have you ever tried that आपके चेहरे से आपके भाई का या फैमिली मेंबर का या बच्चे या किसी का खुला है? काफी मिलता जुलता फीचर्स है हमारे. It doesn't work. So there are so many factors which come into that, and it is not just one small thing. There is a lot of factors which are playing there. Now, similar thing is also possible to use in healthcare, right? Now, that is where we have to start understanding the implementation. Now, we have with us, and just now we are joined by Office Bearer of Kandivali Medical Association, Dr. Rohit Rai. Again, we have a round of applause for him. He joined us. He had a very busy morning, but he has graced the occasion by joining in. But I want to give you a little background. You want to say something?
Yes, okay, I would like to, because that person is very near and dear to me and a good friend of mine. He is the president of Kandivali Medical Association, but Dr. Jayesh Bhai and radiologists in the audience will agree with me. Every radiologist of Mumbai, and not only Mumbai, we have been using his software, the software developed by him more than 15 to 20 years. I need a huge round of applause. This person has developed the software so fantastically.
And sometimes when you see those senior gynecologists का reports coming in with type 10 medications and everything, मैं लगा यार ये इतने senior doctor के पास में कब से ये software पड़ा हुआ है और कैसे use करते हैं? बोला आपने किससे खरीदा? बोले अरे अपने रोहित से, पता नहीं देखो. So let us hear from him his journey and his tips on the electronic medical record system that he has used and implemented, and what is his perspective on the changing scenario of IT in healthcare.
Hello. Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Mukesh, for this wonderful opportunity to be here in this august audience. I am a doctor by education. Over a few years, I noticed that there was a big vacuum as far as record keeping and how to maintain records, all those things that were necessary. But since they were too messy, too space occupying, people were avoiding that. And then I chanced upon IT at that time. I jumped the wagon from my medical practice. I jumped onto the IT bandwagon, did some few courses here and there, and I developed a small software for a friend of mine. बोला try तो कर क्या है देखता है. And it just hit. He liked it so much. He recommended to his friends, and then the software just grew. And from 1 to 2 users, now it is more than 1,000 users across India who are using different softwares. Then I developed some for the hospitals, some for the consultants, for ophthalmologists, for chest physicians. Everybody has their own unique requirement. A gynecologist software will be useless for a chest physician. So his requirements are different. For a radiologist, their requirements are different. For a business perspective, from marketing perspective, all these records. And something that I picked up very early, software is just not for record keeping. It has to talk to me back. It has to analyze and give me data. And based on that data, I can manage my inventory, I can manage my marketing, I can manage feedbacks to my doctors, and I can do a lot of things. So over the period of time, we innovated and brought all these features into the software, such that marketing also becomes easy. Record keeping, of course, was the primary concern, billing, and then now if you see all these insurance companies, they all require electronic records. We need to correspond with them electronically. So that is where the software and the electronic power, the digital power, becomes very handy and very helpful. So that was about the software and the need for it. where is the need? I think every clinician over a period of time.
I'm going to interrupt you and ask you this question. Okay, as many of us who are non-users, some of you tried and we failed, and some of us used it and we are using it regularly and now used to. But then when something new comes, we are still worried. So मैंने इसमें categorize किया. आप में से कितने जन actually कोई technology for reporting या EMR use कर रहे हैं? Actually कोई use कर रहा है यहाँ? Few of you. और आप में से कितने जन use कर रहे हो और नया कुछ आता बोलते नहीं अब जो चल रहा है मुझे छेड़ना नहीं. I don't want to change. How many of you say that? Okay, and how many of you believe कि भाई मैं जो लिख के कर रहा हूँ, systematic कर रहा हूँ, मेरा पूरा system in place है, I am used to it. I don't want to waste my time in data entry. And then बाद में मालूम पड़ा साला कंप्यूटर नहीं चल रहा है तो सारा कुछ लफड़ा हो जाएगा और बाद में कुछ क्रैश हो गया तो क्या होगा? How many of you believe that? We have felt that feeling sometime or the other in our life, right? Okay, Rohit, how do you address this?
That was the story 25 years ago.
नहीं, आज की भी यही story है.
आज systems इतने अच्छे develop हो गए हैं. The computers, the hardware, the operating systems, the software itself have become so efficient and so sturdy, I would say, that we don't see these, what just Mukesh said, computer crash ho gaya, software crash ho gaya, data crash ho gaya. We hardly see these over the last almost 5, 7, 10 years. We have hardly seen such cases. There are such sturdy backup systems. We have the cloud. Your system can be on cloud where there is a regular backup happening. And it's so secure also that there is no question of any data theft or anybody fiddling with your data or so antivirus systems, and they are all so sturdy. So those questions don't arise. Now, the other question that Mukesh raised was, Naya technology aaya to kya? Naya technology also can be blended so seamlessly into your existing system that we hardly see that there is any problem or any breakdown or, downtime. It's so seamless. So I would request anybody who is already using it to upgrade to the new technology. Those who are not using it, to start experimenting it and start using it.
I think this brings me to Hemal's year's annual theme, resolve to evolve. And I'll add another component. If you don't evolve, then we will perish. So we need to evolve. And that is what is the message I wanted to give by this series of questions which I put through to Rohit. So when we are looking at this data and data management of patient data that we get and we try to store it. So as I told you, Aadhaar card is going to have that data, but Aadhaar card is not going to be doing any analytics for us. It's only going to store all the reports and scan paper and discharge summary. So those are transactions. They call it transactions there. So they have done the sandbox where they have tried to use it and see how people can kind of crash it or delete it or change it. And with newer technologies coming in like blockchain technology, वहाँ कुछ changes नहीं कर सकते. Blockchain की खास है. Last time we had done a workshop on training on blockchain, and in that we talked about this, that you can't edit it. You can only add and subtract, and whatever is added and subtracted from the data, you can subtract rather, you can just do some addition. And whatever is written extra, it will be dated and time stamped. So you cannot say कि भाई मैंने ऐसा नहीं किया. Yeah, or you cannot say कि मैंने ऐसा किया था जबकि आपने नहीं किया था. So things are so standardized, so it will be easy. But यार ये तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. हर चीज पता चल जाएगी. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. You can also design कि only this much amount of data can be shared. So for example, when a patient data comes in, when we did the workshops on AMR, we discussed that how there is one data which is demographical data, name, age, sex, address, phalana, dimka. Okay, if you don't want to give identity, you can block out the name and other things. You can just say the sex and this, male hai ya female hai ya. Okay? It is your choice how much data is shared and how much is not. Next is your history taking. जो उसके points है, वो आपको भी नहीं करना है. Patient आधा input करेगा, बाकी आपके assistant input कर सकते हैं, and then you can finish it off. Then comes your clinical evaluation, which is your notes, which is what you want to put. उसमें instead of writing, you just clicking button and you can do that. And then the treatment plan, which is again, if you don't want to share, you don't share, but you will have to share the prescription as per the law. So जो चीज आपको लीगली शेयर करनी है वो आप शेयर कीजिए, और जो चीज आपको लगता है आपका ट्रेड सीक्रेट है, you don't want to share, मत कीजिए. But legally you have to anyway give the prescription to the patient, right? So that can be shared on that data. And add to that the technology helping you to do the accounting system for us, right? And it is so much great. And I am going to ask some intelligent questions with some intelligent fintech people here about why it is important to keep our accounts clean and how it is safe for that in technology for doctors specifically. We go to that. But before that, in this journey, there has been another person in the last so many years with whom I have interacted with and who has seen different types of questions coming in from doctors and different types of curiosities and created a lot of projects for day-to-day implementation for doctors in their practice. And that's Dr. Vinita Gaikwad. So, madam, what have you seen over the years and what is your take and what is your suggestions that has changed over the years in IT in healthcare?
So like in my inaugural speech itself, I had said that we've done so many workshops for the doctors. And just to give you an understanding or a glimpse of what we had done, we don't just restrict ourselves to these workshops. There were some projects we have done with Sion Hospital. We have been associated with that hospital for the last 4 to 5 years. And we have designed mobile apps for that hospital. So one of the apps which is very passionate to us also is this Sneha Kaksh, where we are trying to educate women about milk donation. So breast breast milk donation. Yeah, that's right. That's more appropriate. So we have heard about blood donation, but then this was something which was even very striking to us as IT people. And that very small app was designed and it was translated into 4 languages, Urdu, English, Hindi and Marathi. So that it can come to the best use of all the people who are staying near that hospital. Most of the locals over there are from the Dharavi side. So that's the reason why the app had been done in 4 languages. So the point being here that the college has been very proactive in working on these IT projects. And talking about the doctors, it's a learning for the college also, for the faculty and the students also. So over a period of years, just as IT has evolved, yes, we have designed, developed and implemented many workshops. And every time, like I said, we have new faces coming over here. So it's like people starting from scratch every time. But then we do aspire, we do want the doctors come here every year and upgrade themselves because technology is changing at a very fast pace. Even we as IT people are not able to catch up with it. So that's mine.
So that's an interesting thing because whenever we sit across Madam and her team members and our members at AMCNV, and when we are sitting, sometimes we start working on next year kya? What next? What next? And then suddenly a eureka moment comes, hey, let's do something like this. You know, how many times it has happened that we are conversing, "Arey yaar, ye karte yaar." This is something which is interesting. And that is what is the fun part of creating this because it is not something which is like, we evolve as per the times and we decide what needs to be done as per the need of that time. So with this, we move on to this thought that when we are trying to share the data and store the data, we are really worried. And when we look at the financial sector, this has been in existence for a very long time because हम लोग health record की इतनी चिंता करते हैं. Imagine हमारे finances का record और finance का हम लोग कितना conveniently एकदम एक झटके में सब अपन online Google banking, Google पे, ये पे, फलाना पे सब कुछ करते हैं WhatsApp से इससे. तो उस वक्त क्यों नहीं डरते हम? इसलिए नहीं डरते हैं because there is a lot of technology that is. Okay, are we good there? Okay, कुछ problem नहीं ना? Okay, so if we are looking at the technology, we have a couple of experts from the fintech field and the finance field. First of all, I'm going to ask something interesting to the gentleman Manoj Sharma ji. He has been handling our money and he is a financial consultant and a planner for a very long time and he has got portfolio management expertise for a lot of our fellow colleagues and doctors. So what do you think is the biggest fear and worry that doctors have before they give the money? नहीं भाई पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा उससे अच्छा तो ये पैसा मैं मेरे FD में रखता हूँ कम से कम पैसा like my father used to say जो पैसा अपने सीट के नीचे वो अपना एक बार मार्केट में गया तो पता नहीं वापस आएगा कि नहीं. So and you know there was another lovely statement कि market is सट्टा लग गया तो लग गया वरना डूब गया. So now in this kind of mindset. And trust me, we doctors are very high IQ people, okay? You can never say that. So यहाँ जितने भी doctors बैठे हैं ना, या तो बहुत ही brilliant है, या उनका बाप बहुत पैसे वाला था, ठीक है? Right? So having said that, how will you allay our anxiety that we can invest safely and the technology is there to help us and not to loot us?
Basically, like first of all, I would like to say, like, आपको, like, who is the biggest robber in the world right now? Like, who is the biggest wealth destroyer? Any idea? Any guess?
हमारे बीवी और बच्चे.
Actually, like, अपन कह सकते हैं, like, the biggest wealth destroyer is the inflation. If you keep your money with you,
over the time, they will lose the power of purchasing. Like, for example, just I will give a simple example. Like you have kept 100 rupees in your bank account and you have invested 100 rupees in somewhere in a stock or mutual fund or XYZ instruments. Over the year, like due to the inflation, the purchasing power of 100 rupees will decrease to, let's say, 96 or 94. But like you will not be able to use that 100 rupees efficiently. So in order to basically like आपको अगर आगे बढ़ना है basically like in order to grow further, you have to diversify your portfolio. Basically like आपको invest करना पड़ेगा. Earlier, if we go long back, like 10, 15 years back, investing was such a difficult decision. Basically like you have to do a lot of paperwork, you have to visit the various offices to open the accounts. Now everything is very handy with the innovation, with the kind of fintech evolution. You can do all kind of investments with just your mobile or the laptop. With just a simple click, 2-3 clicks, you can open your demat account with safely. Right now, like just a while ago, we have discussed the DigiLocker. You can just authenticate your documents with DigiLocker, and you can open your account within a fraction of clicks. And you can do the investments smoothly and efficiently.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. He, in his small suggestion, he has given us clear take-home messages. One, he said that don't waste your money in FDs because you are never going to catch up inflation, and inflation is going to overtake the rates of interest that your FD is giving. Second thing, he interestingly told us that with technology, it is much more easier and safer for us to implement that money, and we can use that. Third thing, smartly said that you diversify your fund. So I was just trying to recollect. So Harry Markowitz नाम का एक बंदा था. He got a Nobel Prize on portfolio management theory. And his meaning was that you need to evaluate the risks of your portfolio, not as an individual tool, but overall risk management. जो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, don't put all the eggs in the same basket. हम सब सुनते हैं ना ये. वो बंदे जिसने explain किया उसको Nobel Prize मिला था. Can you imagine that? अरे ये तो मेरे बच्चे को हर मारवाड़ी अपने खून में उसके अंदर मालूम है उसको ये बात. हर गुजराती बनिया सबको मालूम है ये. So having said that, the most important aspect, I thought that in a very subtle and simple way, is passed on these interesting messages. So we need to realize that the technology can do that. So we have a fintech smart young guy with us, Jenim. So I want you to tell us that when you are doing this, devising these models of technology in fintech, so how do you, so एक तो आता है यूजर इंटरफेस आप कैसा इजी बनाते हो देख के हमको मजा है कि हाँ यार मस्त है ब्यूटीफुल है, और एक होता है बैकएंड पे बहुत सारे एल्गोरिथम्स चल रहे हैं. But how do you manage the security system? And when we put our money in these places, how does because I don't want what I make, डॉक्टर लेले को मुझे नहीं बताना, हेमल को नहीं बताना है, और इनको मुझे नहीं बताना है. So how do you maintain the confidentiality?
So I'm working as a back-end guy in purely in the operations part of the financial systems and what goes through when you do the payment and what goes in the back-end part. So basically, what I work in is the lending company which gives the loan to the people and loan to the businesses, right? So basically before like 2015 and 14, there were you need to come and upload the documents, and right, and you have to give the account statements, and some people would say that I don't want to show all the statements because there are some issues with their privacies, right? So as you said, the DigiLocker thing, so when we are when we want the details of the bank accounts of the people's who come for the loan, who come for basically to take the money for their businesses or something like that. So what we do is that there is an intermediate thing where we ask government or the government entity who regulates the account statements of people's records which they have in their database.
Pause here. So what he's saying is, whether you like it or not, the government entities do have your data, and they also have the right to share it with the people whom you have approached.
What they say is that we will only provide the data which you have requested or which is essential for you to give the loans or you to analyze the data on what basis will provide the loan to the customer. So
if there is a doctor who comes to a financial planner or a consultant, and he wants to buy a new equipment or buy a new property or clinic, or want to buy a new house, or maybe buy a very nice luxury car, and he needs a loan for that. Okay, so the financial planner will do the due diligence and say, "Ah, bhai, tere paas bahut paisa hai, tu bindas khareed." And now we want to buy it. So at the back end, how does the technology work?
What they'll do is they'll simply put the required things in the UI interface. What we'll do is we'll get the data. We don't take the documents. We'll get the mobile number. So the government has the regulators which provides the bank statements of the users. We don't have the direct access to their accounts because that's not regulator that doesn't come in the compliance.
So in simple words, they cannot do any changes, but what is the factual information is your bank statement or your yearly IT returns, ITRs, which is now a set of standard documents which cannot be altered or changed. You have access to, you provide access to the next bank with whom you're taking loan.
So what we do is we analyze the data of that account statement and we can let the user know that yes, you are eligible to take the loan.
अब यहाँ पर मैं वापस grill करूँगा. Okay, so we just little while back we heard from Sonu madam that there's something called a search engine optimization, where you need to know how the Google algorithms work or how the search engine algorithm work to show you as a more popular person and so on and so forth. And that means if you use the right keyword, if you have the right linkages, if you have been, you have been linked from outside from powerful sites and authentic sites, then your value becomes more. And that is your, kind of a digital scoring of visibility and ranking. Similarly, in finance, all of us have heard of CIBIL scoring. Right. So if we want our CIBIL scores, because as doctors, we do not pay attention to these small things. So today's topic is this, that we want to make our doctors literate, not just from medical literature, but also on technology and financial issues. So what does that hacks? Means हम लोग ने क्या mistake नहीं करनी चाहिए, so that our CIBIL score is not going to hit, because they are not human beings. They are not going to think, यार हेमल यार ये तो यार brilliant आदमी तो पैसा कमा ही लेगा. No, they are only going to look at those numbers, right? So what is those aspects? Any one of you? No, I mean both of you only.
Basically,
रोहित को काम पे मत लगाओ यार.
There are various aspects. First of all, like CIBIL score. Like if you miss paying any of your, if you have taken a loan and if you have missed any EMI paying, definitely it impacts your CIBIL score. Apart from that, the credit card utilization, if you are holding a credit card, how much credit card you are using and up to what limit. Like if you are using above 80% of your limit, then it's impacting the CIBIL score. So that over the time your CIBIL score will get impacted. Basically, like these are kind of like a major impacts. And if any kind of basically like check bounce, definitely it impacts your CIBIL score.
अभी चेक बाउंस हो गया या क्रेडिट कार्ड टाइम पे भरना भूल गए या लोन अकाउंट हम लोग ने थोड़ा लेट भर दिया. All these small fact and or you know sometimes you sign up for that free credit card. वहाँ लाइन में लगे हैं और आपने कपड़े आपको मैडम ये अगर ये वाला क्रेडिट कार्ड लिया तो 20% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा और आपको एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट मिलेगा. एंड आपने साइन कर लिया और घर जाके भूल भी गए कौन सा क्रेडिट कार्ड है. एंड देन आफ्टर सम टाइम दे विल स्टार्ट पुटिंग चार्जेस टू यू ऑन दैट क्रेडिट कार्ड. एंड द नेक्स्ट ईयर यू विल गेट अ बिल. अरे मेरे को पता नहीं, मैंने तो ऐसा कुछ लिया ही नहीं है, आई हैव नेवर यूज्ड इट. आपका चार्ज लग गया. नाउ द फनी पार्ट इज you say कि no, I don't want to pay, I have not taken it, तो लोग follow up भी नहीं करेंगे, but they will add it to your CIBIL score. And after 5 years, 6 years, when you look at that nice 4 BHK flat or 3 BHK flat where you want to retire in your old age with nice swimming pool and spa nearby, and then you apply for loan, तो अरे 5 साल 10 साल पहले मैंने लाइन में क्रेडिट कार्ड लिया था, उसका बिल 300-500 रुपया था. It is affecting my score. Do you get the point that I'm trying to put across?
इसके अलावा there is also one more point. No matter if you are taking loan or not, you are just checking that कि मुझे लोन मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. Even if you are checking that, अगर आपको लोन नहीं चाहिए तो don't check it. If you are checking it, then it's impacting your CIBIL score. How many times you are checking for eligibility to take any loan or a credit card? It's impacting your CIBIL score.
Oh, that's very new information. हमको तो आदत है हर 5-5 मिनट में देखते हैं कि लाल में है कि ग्रीन में है यार अपना स्टॉक. Okay, sir, you have a question, yeah. How do you check?
There are various multiple sites जहां पर आप आपका CIBIL score चेक सकते हैं, जैसा पैसा बाजार है. There are 4 basically credit rating agencies जो आपको है ना क्वार्टरली once in a year they provide you free, you can free of cost you can check your CIBIL score. So different 4 credit rating agencies है जिनके ऊपर आप आपका CIBIL score चेक कर सकते हैं फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट में. एक सिंपल सी है कि पैसा बाजार करके ऐप है, वहां पर चारों एप्लीकेशंस, चारों क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज है, उनका डाटा अवेलेबल रहता है. आप फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट एवरी क्वार्टर यू कैन डाउनलोड द स्टेटमेंट एंड चेक योर एंटायर CIBIL स्कोर. उस CIBIल स्कोर के अंदर स्टेटमेंट जो आएगा उसके अंदर आपके क्या क्या, कितने क्रेडिट स्कोर्स, क्रेडिट कार्ड हैं, कितने आपके बैंक अकाउंट्स हैं, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट कितने लोन्स चल रहे हैं, आपकी क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री क्या रही है थ्रू आउट सिंस इंसेप्शन, जब से आपने कोई क्रेडिट लाइक लोन लिया या क्रेडिट कार्ड लिया है. इवन आपने एक भी EMI या समथिंग कुछ मिस किया है, वो क्रेडिट स्कोर, सिबिल स्कोर स्टेटमेंट में आपका रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा कि कितनी बार इम्पैक्ट हुआ और आपने कितने देर से पे किया. इवन यू विल बी एबल टू सी दैट थिंग.
So it is not just that. Even I think Google Pay, Paytm, and even your banks, where you have your account, they also provide it if you ask for it. You have to just pay some token amount to them, and they do that. And many of them do it free of cost. But here I would like to highlight one very interesting thing. This, say for example, the CIBIL agency. How do they actually make their money? It is not purely by giving and rating scores to various things and making money, but they have analytics of your spending pattern. आपने कभी सोचा है फेसबुक में मेरे को क्यों ये लोगों को ही मुझे आता है कि फ्रेंड्स बनाओ, कि मैंने अगर सपोज डॉक्टर लेले को फ्रेंड बनाया तो IMA के सारे जनों का नाम पॉप हो रहा है. मैंने डॉक्टर शालीन को बनाया तो उसके तो बहुत सारे एसोसिएशन है शालीन सोनी के, तो वो हर एसोसिएशन के उसके फ्रेंड्स के पॉपअप होने चालू हो जाएंगे. सो ये क्यों होता है? सो दिस इज नथिंग बट प्रेडिक्टिव analysis and algorithms. Similarly, these banking agencies are tracking your spending pattern of your credit card and other things, and they are providing it as a raw data without the names. So if a bank wants to open a branch in say कांदिवली ईस्ट में खोलूं या मल्लाड वेस्ट में, वहां पर मैं ATM खोलूं क्या सब्सक्राइबर मतलब सर्विस प्रोवाइडर के साथ, या मुझे इंटरनेशनल बैंकिंग खोलना चाहिए क्योंकि यहाँ से फॉरेन ट्रैवल वाले ज्यादा जाते हैं, सो ये या NRI ज्यादा रहते हैं, ये सब डेटा इज ऑल्सो कैप्चर्ड by technology. जो हम सोच नहीं सकते कि हमारे spending pattern is being tracked, but that is being tracked. So what I'm trying to put across here is that when you're buying something or selling something, or the data is being tracked, similar to all of us. So as doctors, we are intellectual people. We should be smart that how we manage our day to day, because I feel sorry when a couple comes and discusses, यार मेरा बच्चा है उसको मेडिकल में एडमिशन या उसका अभी खत्म हुआ, उसको मेरे को उसका कैरियर बनाना है, बट यार मेरे पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है उसको मैं क्लिनिक खोलने के लिए या उसकी फीस भरने के पैसे नहीं है. और इतने साल आपने मेहनत की तो आपका नंबर्स क्यों नहीं पहुंचा हुआ? इट्स नॉट दैट यू डोंट हैव, बट यू हैव नॉट स्मार्टली मैनेज्ड योर मनी. So I think this is another aspect which we did financial literacy at the Malcon annual conference and AMC. We have been doing it for a very long time by doing a financial OPD there. So it is another aspect that as doctors we should be knowing. I think I'll move on to Dr. Lele again, and I'm going to ask him a very simple question. Nowadays, we get a lot of patients asking for consultation के लिए कि भाई, and thank God for COVID for one thing. अभी पेशेंट को समझता है कि फोन पे बात किया या वीडियो पे प्रिस्क्रिप्शन आया तो उसका पैसा देना पड़ता है, राइट? एटलीस्ट ये फायदा तो कोविड ने करके दिया है. ये तो आज तक क्या है, बात तो की है, बात करने का क्या पैसा? अरे बात करके तेरी जान बचाई है वो नहीं. और इन लोगों को बात करने के लिए थोड़ी से भी बात किया तो बोले अच्छा तू मेरा 1 करोड़ का 2 करोड़ का तो 20 लाख तेरा, चल उधर चलता है पैसा देने को, लेकिन हम लोगों को वो नहीं चलता है. लेकिन नाउ देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ ई प्रिस्क्रिप्शन एंड देयर इज स्पेसिफिक गाइडलाइंस क्रिएटेड बाय नीति आयोग. लेट अस हैव सम अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि हाउ कैन वी बी सेफगार्डिंग आवरसेल्फ व्हेन वी गिव प्रिस्क्रिप्शन और व्हेन वी गिव मैसेज टू अ पेशेंट कि ये दवाई ले लो. सो व्हाट आर दोस फैक्टर्स एंड व्हाट आर द सेफगार्ड्स, सर? ओवर टू यू, लेले सर.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mukesh. I'll just take you 2-3 minutes back of that e-prescription concept. See, previously, before the COVID-19, before also, we used to advise the patient on the phone. We used to give the advice on the many times to the relatives that in emergency or otherwise, night, or suppose you don't want to go to the visit or you are outstation and the patient or a patient is outstation, used to give them advice. But then during COVID, what happened was many physicians had kept their clinics closed, and in fact, on one side that time it was advised that above 65 years, should not go out and all that. So Maharashtra Medical Council in the beginning only, before the NMC took up this issue, and recognize this, that suppose the patient don't get the treatment, how they will manage their COVID management, Because in the first 3-4 months, it was totally dark. Nobody was actually knowing that which medicine to use. Somebody was giving azithromycin, somebody was giving doxycycline, somebody was giving something else. And chloroquine was there, and once a week something was being given. So that time, Maharashtra Medical Council said that those related to the COVID advice can be given on an e-prescription format. Before that, Maharashtra Medical Council had also regularized the prescription format itself, how to go about it. No doubt, I have appeared on cross section on many times on the Z Business and other things on the giving interview, because our system of prescription is not very well developed. Chemists do give the medicines without the prescriptions, without the bills. In fact, I also appeared once on the chemist forum, and I told there was a lot of issue that time. Our FDA commissioner was Mr. Jhagde, if you recollect. And yeah, and that time I had to side Mr. Jhagde, because Jhagde had once said that even if you give any paracetamol saline, the bill has to be given. And he called me in the meeting of the secretary at the health this thing in Mantralaya, and then the chemists were opposing that why should they give the bills of that particular thing. I said nothing doing. If the person has purchased amount of even if 5, 10, 20 rupees, you have to give the bill, because I narrated one incident. And very clearly, the secretary passed an order that time that yes, the bill has to be given. But unfortunately, still the chemist sides are not following it. Of course, all my doctor friends know that they are giving the medicines. That apart. So the Maharashtra Medical Council allowed the e-prescription to be generated, and subsequently in March 2020, Niti Aayog, I think you have that. You can just show on the screen if possible. Niti Aayog along with the NMC had accepted that the e-prescription in India can be given. There is a certain system they have developed. You can start using that, and 3 years, after 3 years, that is now in March 2023 onwards, they have said that those who are using this e-prescription format go on to the online, do the course, and telemedicine practical guidelines, because this is the format which is being advised. You can start using it. There were definitely some reservations and some issues are coming out of it. So far, such issues have not been developed, but then future they are likely to come, because you know very well that after the CPA which came into India, lot of cases have been registered against the doctors. At present, mostly the hospitals are there, but family physicians, the cases are much, much less. But after using the telemedicine, for example, I'll just give you say example that suppose you anybody consult you, say from out of Maharashtra, because formerly before this telemedicine being accepted, suppose you are got a registration of Maharashtra Medical Council, then you can practice only in Maharashtra. Even though you are registered with the Indian Medical Register, you we were advising that don't practice outside, say in Gujarat or Andhra or Tamil Nadu, because if anybody files a case against you, you will have to go to Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu Council cannot hear that case, then it will be directed to the MCI then, and now it will be NMC. So all those complicated issues will occur, but in doing this e-prescription, it is done away, and you can get that e-prescription, but of course, mind you, giving a video consultation and e-prescription has got its limitations, because you know very well, touching, reading the patients and diagnosing is different, and just giving advice on the phone without examination and without other things. And many times, you know very well, you have been practicing here in the medical field, all our patients try to do smartness, they don't give everything information. And suppose you misdiagnose, they will come and land up and file a case against you. So that's why you have a limitations. You must think that though there are some patients' identity also has to be established. That's why it is there in that written that patient cell number, maybe some address or other card, other things should be there, and then only you give the e-prescription. in foreign countries, the giving e-prescription means the prescription goes to a designated chemist. It is not being handed over to the person at all. You cannot just take the printout and reuse it again. Here it is possible. So you have to be very careful while giving e-prescription, because nowadays, especially scheduled drugs, H drugs, though those antipsychotic and anxiolytic and other things, you cannot give the long prescription more than 1 month, because the same prescription somebody may misuse and buy more medicines and commit suicide or anything can happen. So you have to be very careful. So I would advise those who are practicing in video consultation, please do this course. It's very easy. Just do it online training and then appear for some smaller exam, and you will get a certificate that yes, you are authorized to do that. So you will be safe, because nowadays it is better to practice safe rather than land up in a problem. Because doing in the Maharashtra Medical Council, when we were hearing a lot of cases, small cases used to appear, and then the doctor was harassed by the patient. So satisfied, tell the patient very correctly, and that time the documentation that yes, you have advised the patient to come and see the nearest physician or you himself. So to start with, begin with, just treat the patients whom you know very well. Maybe your family patients are there and you treat them. You know that his history is proper. He has been reporting to you last 10, 20, 30 years. So those patients you take up first. Unknown patients, somebody may be at distance or somebody is maybe at outside your state. Avoid doing the e-prescription and e-consultation. Avoid advising complete on the phone, because that's so, again, that is also giving wrong concept. But before that, I would advise that you do this course, so that at least you will have the safety of doing how to practice. Everything has been written there, how to identify, when to report the patient to the nearest consulting or hospital, or to call him and advise him what is to be done further, because every patient may or may not improve, and then that time you will have to give him the correct advice. So this is what my advice to you all for the e-prescription, and see to it that never it is given the same. Don't just, e-prescription, you have the record and just don't forward it again at the next date. Give the fresh prescription. Many times we do mistake that we have a record. He said, okay, patient said, no, last time I had this fever and this problem. Then you say that, okay, you take the same prescription. Never write that. Do No, I just mentioned that a person who you have been practicing, your patient is there. Your family patient means you are a pediatrician. You have seen that family or a child before that. So that is right, but that's what I'm trying to tell, that when you give the e-prescription, that time when you assess it within 6 to 8, that limitation is, you have to decide that within 6 to 12 hours, if the patient is not better, he has to report to the local doctor.
So for that also, I have to generate e-prescription for that.
To write down, yes, you can write down. To make a documentation. Here, when you are making a e-prescription, see to it that proper documents are kept at your end as a safety for yourself. Documentation is a must. You have seen the patients, and even those in the nowadays some apps are available. You can record that video also to have that. I'm not talking about, I'm just giving you, because to be on safer side, giving you an advice that yes, do keep that prescription with you, documentation with you, that suppose the person called you in the midnight, say at 12 o'clock or whatever time it is, then you tell them that, okay, you give the paracetamol or some emergency medicine to tide over the night crisis. And if you feel in the morning that the patient is not improved or not showing signs that the disease is coming under control, tell them that you must go to the nearest hospital. But you must record it. Yes, you have advised him to go to the nearest hospital. That should be there when you are giving the e-prescription.
तो जैसे आप इन्वेस्ट करते हो, your investment is subject to market risk करता है ना, वैसे every time you prescribe, check, whenever I say, I always write in a message that, this may be prescribed, meet your local, अगर आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि आपको टाइम नहीं मिल पा रहा है जाके प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लिख के फोटो खींच के भेजने का, so you have to say that this may be needed check with the local doctor.
So just on WhatsApp or something like that, you have to write the prescription
You,
and write it. You just consult the local.
Yes, consult your local doctor. Always do that. Always, sir. I'm telling you that I have after COVID के पहले से ही मैं कर रहा हूँ. I have been doing this, So at that time, prescription was not allowed. So I used to never prescribe. Okay, that time you can counsel, you can talk. Talking is legal, but you can't prescribe. So
Just talking, he says कि साहब मैं prescription दे दूँ, paracetamol दे दूँ.
So now government has permitted you. Now the Niti Aayog has permitted you. Now the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has permitted you. But when you're writing a prescription, उसमें patient सर ने बताया ना जैसे कि patient का demographic data, name, identity, उसका phone number, वो कहाँ रहती है वो, उस पे लिखना होता है उस prescription पे.
Not writing anything, just telling कि हाँ ले लो Vicrosin ले लो.
So you are putting yourself at risk when you do that. This is very clear. And trust me, when Dr. Lele is saying that, अगर हमारे पे किसी ने केस ठोका तो वो फिर महाराष्ट्र मेडिकल काउंसिल में गया तो सर मेंबर वहां पर होते हैं और वही हम पे बोलेंगे मैंने तेरे को बोला था पहले से तूने सुना नहीं मेरे को मत बोल.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The documentation, what you do is important. When you say verbally on the phone like that, there is no documentation. There is no documentation. So best thing would be say now, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that when you are prescribing something, just don't write in your message box that take this antibiotic or take that. Rather than take some time, there is a nowadays, that's what I was telling just 10 minutes back, I said, you have a lot of things in the phone. You can keep your prescription digitally into your phone, give that prescription. Everything is written there. What is written there, you are guided. Just 5 minutes more it will take. But then you are safe. Tomorrow, if somebody goes to that prescription with some other doctor, they will say, no, somebody has written properly. All documentation. And in that prescription, you write down 2-3 small, important, salient features, what patient has communicated. Patient has talked to you on verbally. I am saying yes, of course, definitely. He has not told you, he has not sent you email or on this thing. He has told you verbally. So you write down that you cannot write down the finding, but you can always write down that the patient reported 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the prescription itself. There is a software, that's what in your phone, the same thing, another one page can be saved into your documents and the same prescription can be retrieved whenever you want to give it fresh. So give fresh prescription, fresh dated, so that nobody can, alter that. Got my point? So that's what I mean. And then when you give the fresh prescription, you have a fresh record maintained that you have given the fresh prescription at so and so time to that person on WhatsApp or email or whatever it is.
तो यहाँ पर है ना प्राइमरी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन एंड फॉलो अप प्रिस्क्रिप्शन दोनों की फॉर्मेट मैंने जैसे दिखाया सो यू कैन जस्ट गूगल फॉर इट एंड टेलीमेडिसिन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू अनदर थिंग सी देयर आर 2 types of governance that we are following here. Number 1 is our medical ethics and code of conduct, for which we are answerable to the Maharashtra Medical Council and NMC. And second is the court of law, जो अपने मर्जी से चलता है. वो ये नहीं बोलेगा तुमने प्रिस्क्रिप्शन ये फॉर्मेट में दिया कि ये नहीं दिया. वो ये बोलेंगे कि योर बॉडी हैज प्रिस्क्राइब्ड, यू हैव टोल्ड दैट यू आर सपोज्ड टू प्रिस्क्राइब इन दिस फॉर्मेट, सो व्हाई आर यू नॉट फॉलोइंग दैट. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, हमने ये दिन पे उसको बोला था और उसके बाद ये कॉम्प्लिकेशन आया. आपने बोला था, उसका प्रूफ है ना, तो मतलब आपने बोला था. उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या था, कश्मीर में था, बॉम्बे में था, किधर था, किसको, उसको नहीं पड़ी है. आपने बोला दिया और फिर आपने उस वक्त उसको बोलना चाहिए था ना कि भाई ये खतरा है तेरे को, नहीं तो हम चेक कराने जा सकते थे. आपने नहीं बोला इसलिए हम चुपचाप घर में बैठे. सो टू सेफगार्ड योरसेल्फ. सर आपने मैसेज डाला है ना.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you here, but majority of the phone has by default recorder. So they can be recorded, your voice can be recorded.
सर यू आर राइट. आप जो कह रहे हो ना, आप सही हो कि उसने रिकॉर्ड यदि नहीं किया होगा तो, लेकिन आजकल आपको पता नहीं चलता है सामने वाला रिकॉर्ड कर रहा है क्योंकि उसको बाद में वो दवाई लेने जाना है, उसको मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा कौन सी दवाई है.
Sir,
तो
he will not be able to prove it. It is not easy task. If he is complaining in WhatsApp, then I will give the message in WhatsApp. If he is telling orally, then we shall later on we can deny that I am
So
not.
I am going to put it in one line, sir. You may win your case because for all practical purposes, it was a help that you have given and your lawyer may be smart enough to prove it. But nuisance value आ जाएगा.
Yes.
अगर आपको nuisance value से बचना है, प्राइमा फेसी आपके खिलाफ केस ना बने, तो थोड़ा सेफगार्ड कीजिए बस.
आप लिख करके देंगे तो उसमें ज्यादा फंसने के चांसेस है. उसका रीजन
Sir, prescription तो-
रीजन आई एम टेलिंग यू सर. रीजन कि once I was practicing in Kurar village. संडे हिंदी में बात करेंगे सर.
हाँ चलिए ना सर.
संडे के दिन ज़्यादातर दवाखाना बंद रहता है, तो मैं अपना क्लिनिक चालू रखा था. एक पेशेंट मेरे पास आया और बोला कि इधर चेस्ट पेन हो रहा है. आई एग्जामिन द पेशेंट, तो आई सस्पेक्टेड दैट ही हैज़ गॉट इस्चेमिक हार्ट डिजीज. लेकिन अगर हम बताएंगे ऐसे ही जाएगा तो हमको पैसा मिलेगा नहीं. तो आई गेव 1 इंजेक्शन डाइक्लोफेनिक सोडियम.
Sir, एक काम करें सर. Actually, this is a forum where we should not take individual cases for the sake of.
Sir, it is very useful, sir. Those.
सर मैं सर आपकी बात को रिस्पेक्ट करता हूं, आपकी इज्जत करता हूं, लेकिन कुछ कारण है जिसकी वजह से हम ये डिस्कशन परमिट नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहे हैं सर. सर आपसे हाथ जोड़ के विनती है कि हम ये डिस्कशन बाद में लंच पे कर लेंगे. लंच में बात करेंगे, आपका प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करेंगे सर. ठीक है ना? I hope you understand, sir.
Thank you.
Let me tell you very clearly. Please understand, whenever today you are prescribing, the patients are smarter than you. And if they want to do anything, they can do anything and everything to harass the doctor. And we saw in the Maharashtra Medical Council 10 times cases than 10 years back. And total wrong cases. We know very well that the doctor is right. But then doctor has to come there. We have to summon the doctor. He has to bring the advocate. Advocate will prepare the case. You will get away. I am not saying that. But why get sleepless nights?
In health.
But today, see, when you are talking that prevention is better than cure, that's what I am trying to tell you. To be on safer side, you have to follow this advice. Nothing else. You can do away, but then one fine day, if one occurs, then your entire 25, 30, 40 years practice is gone.
One brown paper.
What is occurring now? We have seen the doctors being harassed by so many patients for nothing.
So I think we will end this with a note that, sir, 1 sec, sir. End this with a note that we can choose primary prevention, secondary prevention, tertiary prevention. Primary prevention, do not let a situation happen which can lead you to a medico-legal problem. Good communication, appropriate consent taking, appropriate paperwork. सेकेंडरी प्रिवेंशन, जब आपके किसी ने केस फाइल किया है तो इमीडिएटली आप उसको देख के सेटल करके कम्युनिकेट करके देखिए. सेटल मतलब पैसा वैसा देना नहीं, मतलब सब चीज़ बराबर की है कि नहीं, डॉक्यूमेंट्स चेक कीजिए, लॉयर से ओपिनियन लीजिए, सब कुछ. टर्शरी प्रिवेंशन कोर्ट में और पुलिस से लड़ना हमें क्यों करना है? हम प्राइमरी प्रिवेंशन में बिलीव करते हैं. हमें वैक्सीनेशन, यू डोंट वांट द कैंसर टू हैपन, यू वांट टू टेक द वैक्सीन बिफोर द कैंसर हैपेंस एंड यू वांट टू स्क्रीन बिफोर दैट. सो आई थिंक दिस इज द कंसेप्ट दैट वी. सो बिफोर वी गो अहेड, आई हैव बीन गेटिंग दीज वार्निंग्स. वो 1 बज गए, खाना खाना वर्कशॉप इज गोइंग टू बी मोर इंटरेस्टिंग. वो ज्यादा इंटरेक्टिव होगा इससे, ठीक है, ये मेरा प्रॉमिस है. सो आई एम गोइंग टू टेक होम मैसेजेस क्विकली, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द न्यूएस्ट बैट्समैन फर्स्ट. रोहित.
Hello.
Crisp take-home messages, what you feel about these kind of programs, or what is the message you want to give when it comes to IT and technology for doctors?
My crisp, smallest message is embrace technology. Technology is for you. It will help you much more, and it is only the fear of technology that is keeping you back.
Janam.
Just want to add that this kind of session generally gives the awareness of technology, how to use the latest apps, applications for any kind of purposes, like say health purposes and for doctors also. So this kind of discussions, this kind of discussions spread awareness of how to use the apps and latest technologies in the day-to-day lives and for doctors also. That's all.
Thank you, Manoj ji.
I just want to highlight some details about financial planning. I will just take a hardly 2-3 seconds. Basically, financial planning is a different thing. Basically, like it's a process of using your money wisely to achieve all your financial goals. Basically, like it is about like creating a roadmap from right now, from your current financial position in which you are to where you want to reach, where you want to see yourself in the future. Current roadmap. So basically, it describes like it involves around like setting objectives, creating smart goals. Basically, like smart means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. And then basically saving and investing money, and then finally realizing protecting yourself from the risk that you are prone to. For example, in doctor's case, basically you are doing a medical practice. If something goes wrong, then it can be a very dangerous thing for you. It can basically wipe out a big chunk of your saving. How? So in that case, indemnity cover, definitely head should have for doctors. And doctors की financial situation काफी unique होती है. Example के लिए basically whenever the doctors get pass out, basically एक तो उनको practice start करने में काफी ज़्यादा time लगता है, because एक तो intensive course रहता है, उसके बाद उनका training period रहता है, and after that they start practicing. So basically एक तो financial debt काफी ज़्यादा होता है. Basically if you are not from a good sound background family, then initially for taking this you will have a huge debt. And managing that debt is also a very proactively basic thing.
I think that this is also interesting message that, you know, with technology also understand, like, you need to develop your financial literacy also. So before we come to Lele sir, we will always have the best for the last. Okay, I will ask Hemal to give his take-home message.
So I want to give take-home message to organizing team, to a medico and non-medicos. I see a lot of non-medico also in the, there are a lot of non-medico, just raise your hand. Yes. So 3 take-off messages. One for the organizing team is because we have a very senior practitioner like Dr. Bharti Machar, I can see in the crowd, and Dr. Pradeep sir is there. So they are attending this, the CME. And we have KMA President, Dr. Rohit Roy Gaga, Borivali Brotherhood Trustee, Dr. Narendra sir is there. Sir, thank you for coming. We have a...
Thank you, sir.
We have a trustee from Association of Fellow Practitioner, that is Dr. Salin Soni is there, and President Dr. Abhilasha is there. So we have so many different platforms, they are attending this. So the take-home message for organizer is that next year you will have, this hall will be definitely less and you need to go for a bigger one. That is our promise, because we will be having more crowd. So that is take-home for you.
तूने IMA का नाम नहीं लिया.
Oh yes, of course, that is by default, because when Lele sir is there, it is always there, and IMA people are by default a member of all the organization. So that is a take-home message for you. Take-home message for doctors, medicos, we already heard, I mean everyone is saying that, so I don't have to say much, but don't fear the technology, embrace, as Dr. Rohit said, embrace it and follow the steps and you will be safe. If you follow the protocols, you will be safe. And to non-medico, I would like to say that in spite of this digitalization, trust me, don't replace your doctor on WhatsApp. The digitalization cannot replace the digit of the doctor. So you have to go to your doctor and let him examine you or her examine you, and digitalization cannot replace the digit. So that's the take-home message. Thank you.
वो सिर्फ डॉक्टर लोग समझे, वो नहीं समझे. Madam.
So takeaway message from my side is that, as very rightly said, we require to embrace technology and be fearless. Just as technology in your respective domains is keeping on evolving, and you all do go in for CMEs and so many workshops. So this is one part of your practice, and you have to understand and you have to take it now, that you do require to have IT in your practice now.
Lele sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mukesh. And first of all, as Dr. Hemal mentioned, the hall will be small. Of course, we have a big auditorium next door, I think.
We have
so
done a lot of
there is
conferences there.
Lot of conferences we ourselves have done in by Malad Medical.
In fact, the first ICAM was conducted there. Huh? Let me tell you, and it was reasonably full, and we had a good time there.
Twice we had come in the past. Dr. Udwadia also has come. Dr. Ramurthy has come. You know, that time. So my request and invitation would be to have arrange one program in the IMA Juhu, because this is the entire area is Balad, Kandivali, Borivali. So let us have one program in Juhu, and all the arrangements will be made by the IMA in Juhu. We have a big building, and of course we can accommodate 500 delegates any given time. So that will be good auditorium.
So we will do
both.
that.
We have 3 halls are there simultaneously. We can have that. Second thing, of course, we had arranged. We have been working in that IMA. We had arranged one lecture. I think some of the IMA members sitting here would recollect that. Cybercrime from CID had come in our IMA to give, like that. For example, just he gave everybody idea like many times nowadays you have to purchase the SIM, linked to your account and other things. So they just find out that how many your name or your number is simultaneously been given to any other SIM. So he showed us like that. So there will be some practical tips also. So as today, I think probably after the workshop, definitely they will guide us about the AI use in various fields. So similarly, the computers and other things, IMA would be definitely interested to take up this further and educate our members. And of course, I would just to be seeing on the council side, I know that lot of issues do occur and we have to be today safe and practice in and sleep peacefully rather than have patience, because the cases what we dealt in the Maharashtra Medical Council, we can make out on the face of it that somebody is harassing the doctor and then we have to give the judgment sitting on one side. So that is what my opinion would be. Of course, as Dr. Rohit said, embrace the technology. That is how we, where the Maharashtra Medical Council was the first one to recognize the e-prescription. And today, yes, of course, e-prescription, when we are recognizing the good thing of e-prescription, and there are some issues are there, so you just understand those issues and tackle those issues very clearly. That is also important. Like on the back side, there are certain, somebody mentioned at the back office, lot of things goes on. I think so similarly, a lot of issues are there at the back. And this data collection, I had a big discussion with those ministry representatives. And I told him, I said, when you're doing all those things, there will be a lot of, of course, I am not going to talk that in front of everybody, but yes, definitely. Data collection, data selling goes on, so we have to be very careful. Encryption of our safety of that our data on our this thing should be there. So as I would also advise that one thing that phone which you are using it, when you are selling it, just destroy the phone. Don't go for the buyback, because that is the where the leakage is. Madam, I think I'm right in saying that. Just don't do that. Similarly, if you're using your own laptop, is always better. Whatever you want to do it, you do your own laptop. Don't do it on a common platform nowadays. As it is, the galleries have gone down. So do whatever is there. I mean, Dr. Rohit also would agree with me that whatever you want to do, transactions, this thing, your credit card, debits, all those things, your own laptop, personally to you. Have proper password, keep changing the password, and of course, keep updating. That's the most important thing I would advise, and practice safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
To sir's expert comments, I would add, do not even charge your phone on common
USB port, on USB port.
On other USBs like airports or any common on hotels. Do not charge your phones there also.
Use a plug, not a USB port, right? Yeah, you have a quick comment. Yeah, it's online. I will, in the afternoon we'll do that. We'll do that.
Niti Aayog 2020, March 2020 is the document has come. I will send it to you. There's no problem. It is there in my phone. I'll send it.
It makes you a little safer to practice the prescription.
Safer,
if you have a certificate.
Tomorrow, if anything comes up, you can always say that you are certified.
So I think this is a ball rolling for our quick lunch and follow up. आप लोग जितनी जल्दी खाना खा के वापस आएंगे हम चालू करेंगे. What we are in store is AI for your personal enhancement, where we're going to help you how to make your presentations and the tools for crafting, editing, and optimizing your communication. We're going to have what are the basic tools that you can use in your practice, whether it is medical records, whether it is customizing your prescription, whether it is taking care of your images and the mailboxes, and of course how to handle your social media marketing. I don't like to use the market. Social media presence is the word that we prefer to use. And last but not the least, the UPI do's and don'ts. So with this, I would like to wrap up the session by one simple message. See, IT in healthcare is similar to our medical knowledge in healthcare. It is perpetually evolving. We cannot say that I have known enough. When the day we say that I have known enough, that is the time when we are stagnating. The fact that I'm seeing so many senior practitioners here and senior doctors here shows their zeal and their enthusiasm to be at the best of their business, in spite of already being at the helm of the affairs. So I think this is something which all of us should cherish and remember. And I would not be I will really not be doing justice if I do not thank enough the teachers and all the volunteers who have done such a hard work and shown and so much enthusiasm. And what would be the ship without the commander? Thank you so much, Director Madam, for helping us. Thank you.
I, Jocelyn Fernandez, would like to take a moment to express my sincerest gratitude to each of our esteemed panelists for their active contribution today. So let's first of all put our hands together for the wonderful panelists we have over here. Let's also have a huge round of applause for Dr. Mukesh Gupta as he did a commendable job at leading our panel. Louder, louder. And finally, let's have a round of applause for all of you present here for being such a lively and active audience. Your expertise, insights, and thoughtful perspectives in areas of medicine and finance has enriched our discussion and provided valuable guidance to everyone present here. It was delightful and fun knowing how IT has such an impact and has developed over the years. But even great things has its pros and cons. So it was wonderful knowing the ups and downs of technology in relation to doctors. Your willingness to share your experience of how you have changed lives has not only elevated the quality of our event, but has also inspired all of us to strive for excellence. We are truly fortunate to have had the opportunity to learn from you today. So once again, on behalf of our entire TIMSCDR family, I extend a heartfelt thanks for your dedication, time, and effort in participating in this panel. Thank you. Now I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Dr. Rohit Roygaga, who has been here today as a panelist. I would like to call upon our director, Vinita ma'am, to felicitate Rohit sir.
Taking the program forward, now it is time for best research paper and poster presentation and other awards. First, we will be having faculty research paper awards. The third prize goes to Mr. Shendu Mehta and Dr. Padma Nilesh Mishra for their research paper on the topic of a review on software-driven solution for authentication and authorization in Google Play Store. I would request Dr. Jayesh Lele sir to give the award. The second prize goes to Miss Rupali Ambala ma'am and Rupali Jadhav ma'am and Dr. Rupal Parekh ma'am. I would request Dr. Jayesh Lele to give the award. Okay. Our second winner, Miss Rupali Jadhav. I would request Dr. Jayesh Lele to give the award. Our first award goes to Dr. Vinita Gaikwad ma'am, Miss Anamika Dhawan ma'am, and Miss Shweta Wagmare ma'am. The paper title was Study of Leveraging IT and Enhancing Literacy to Empower Tribal Women in the Sangha village of Palghar district in the state of Maharashtra. Taking the program forward, it's time for student research paper, best student research paper. The third prize goes to Salaria Aditya. His paper title was Empowering Farmers an Intelligent Crop Recommendation System Based on Predictive Analytics. I would request Dr. Mukesh Gupta to give the award. The second winner is Mr. Arjun Sharma. His topic was Uncovering the Dark Patterns of Persuasive Design UI UX. I request Dr. Mukesh Gupta to present the award. The first prize goes to Mr. Atman Shastri. His paper topic was Study of NLP models and their efficiency in detection of early signs of depression and suicidal tendencies. I would request Dr. Mukesh Gupta to give the prize. Taking the program forward, it's time for best student research posters. We have two joint third winners. The first one is Mayekar Aditya and Siddhi Kotre, and the second is Dholam Saili, Fernandez Josephine, Gaur Sonal, Gupta Annapurna, and the second winner goes to Ananya Kshatriya, Mishra Gaurav, Pal Rahul, and Singh Achal. I would request Dr. Rohit Raigaga to present the award. The first prize goes to Yadav Sanjana, Yadav Sahyog, Yadav Sudha, and Dubey Aryan. Taking the program forward, it's time for the Millet Movement in TIMSCDR Recipe Contest winners. We have two fifth prizes, that is group number 17, Miss Alifia Sheikh and Dr. Vinita Gaikwad and Miss Anamika Dhawan, group 1. I would request Dr. Hemal Maniyar sir to give the prizes. Miss Alifia Sheikh and Dr. Vinita Gaikwad and Miss Anamika Dhawan.
The student under their mentorship had prepared Bajra Litti Choka. Do we have the student here? Roll number 13. नहीं डॉक्टर हमने टेस्ट भी किया था पूरा Next was Pearl Millet Idli by Annapurna under my mentorship. I'll be honored to come along with you, Annapurna. Though I didn't do anything in that.
The next award goes for Millet Laddu under the mentorship of Miss Shweta Wagmare ma'am and roll number 117 and roll number 110.
If the student is not there, we would request the mentor to please come forward and collect the prize on their behalf. Then we have under Professor Brijesh Pandey's mentorship, roll number 75 and 76, Millet Idli and Chaat. Are the students there, 75, 76? So we have Rahul.
Ma'am.
So Brijesh, Professor Brijesh and Rahul. So third prize, Millet Thali under Mehtra sir's mentorship, roll number 76, 49, 50, 51, 52. Any of the students? Oh, the entire gang is there. Is Mehtra sir there? Sir, very rarely it happens that we get the honor without doing anything. Let's take that honor. Next is Millet Rabdi under mentorship of Swarupa Madam, roll number 93. So the payasam and the rabdi, etc., all is still fresh in our this. But so that we don't forget it, you will have to get it again. The last and the first prize is Flavors of Millet under mentorship of Ms. Rupali Jadhav, roll number 53, 55, 57. So Nilesh, can you please come forward? So Nilesh was the star of the competition that day. I'm so sorry for okay, so now the hackathon event which was conducted, the second prize goes to the group Aditya Maikar, Shubham Khandarkar, Yash Mewada and Sonam Chaudhary. I would request Jaimin along with Vinita ma'am to please give away the prize. Yes? And the first winner group is Asif Samani, Pratik Shukla, Sanjana Yadav, Sanyog Yadav, Aniket Gupta, Mohammad Afzal Mandolia, sorry.
Editing committee.
The conference, the contribution of the entire ICAM student committee, the ones who edited the video, I would request the entire committee to please come forward. All the students, we would request you to come forward, please. Jaimin, please do the honors along with Vinita ma'am. You are our guest today. Annapurna, Maz, Netra, Sonam, Sanjeevni, Dakshita, Aisha, Pooja, Tahira, Siddhi, Sanjeevni, Pooja Yadav, Sanjana Yadav, Sonam, Siddhi, Annapurna, Yash, Sudha. I would personally say that I had the chance of working with this committee and they work better than the professionals which work in the industry. Their proactiveness and the willingness to do more till the last moment was really commendable. Do convey the message to Siddhi that we missed her today. That's all? Wait, that's all? यही तो कमेटी है ये दो बोलती है ना ये दो हाँ So I would request everyone to please stand up for the national anthem. Everyone.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everyone.